Is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football.
WHLM Williamsport. WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
Picture perfect night for high school football here in the artificial turf of Crispin Field in Berwick, home to Bulldogs football since 1929. Dedicated, to be exact, on October 19th of 1929. M. Jackson Crispin donated the field to the school district in honor of the memory of his father, the late Benjamin F. Crispin, who had served for many years on the Berwick School Board. Seating capacity at that time was about 2,000, making it one of the largest in the state. Right now, I think the seating capacity of the 2019 Crispin Field is about 8,000. Berwick went on to have a great year that year, 1929. They were 10-1. Led by Leo Ram Radamus, who went on to be a college All-American. So there's your history lesson for tonight as the Bulldogs play their first game this season at Crispin Field. Here's a starting lineup for the Millionaires of Williamsport. On the offense, at the tight end, number 11, Nasir Jones. He is a 6'2", 210-pound junior. Terrific two-way player. He's a factor on the defensive side as an end. 5 catches already this season for 62 yards. This Williamsport program has a reputation for tight ends. Jalen Jackson is having a terrific career at Lock Haven, and Ethan Stryker, an outstanding tight end at Williamsport, is now at Shippensburg University. Nasir Jones, a year ago, 27 receptions. The left tackle is number 58, Bo Smith. He is 6'2", 220 pounds, a junior. Joe Heim is the left guard, number 76, 5'10", 195, a junior. Dade Splain is the starting center for Williamsport. He wears number 52. He is 6'1", 225 pounds, a sophomore. Ethan Williamson starts at right guard. He wears number 59, 6'2", 275 pounds, senior. And the right tackle is Riley McCloskey, number 73, 5'7", 180 pounds, a junior. At the wide receiver positions for Williamsport, Brock Moyer, number 4, 5'10", 170, a senior. 2 catches on the season, but for 84 yards and a touchdown. Braden Mazzante, number 12, 5'9", 160, a junior. Also 2 catches for 12 yards. And number 33, Ed Jefferson, a 5'8", 165-pound senior. The starting quarterback is Dallas Grease. Now, he started last year as a 9th grader, 3 games down the stretch when Joe Fagnano, who's now at Maine University, was injured. Grease is 6 foot, 165 pounds, a sophomore. Off to a great start. He's completed 61% of his passes so far. 16 for 26, 204 yards, a touchdown, no interceptions. And running that option, he has run the ball well. 14 carries, 93 yards, and 3 touchdowns. He's averaging 6.6 yards a carry. At the running back position, number 25, Keith Freeman. He's also a sophomore, 6 foot, 175-pounder, and off to a terrific start. 31 carries, 297 yards, and 3 touchdowns. He's averaging 9.6 yards a carry. Last year, of course, playing behind Trey Potts, he saw limited action as a 9th grader, just 17 carries all season long, but he looks like he's going to be the bell cow, if you will, for this Williamsport offense this season. And that is their starting lineup. They're under Charles Cruz in his 5th season as head coach. They come in 2-0, averaging just under 30 points a game. It's on defense where they've been the strongest, as they gave Central Mountain just 80 total yards, and Altoona 103, and they have yet to be scored upon this season. The starting lineup for the Bulldogs at the tight end, number 36, Dallas Schechterly. He's 5'11", 205 pounds, a senior. What a game he had at Pittston area last Friday night. Caught 2 touchdown passes, 1 from Ryan Lawbaugh, 1 from Blaine Cleaver. 2 catches for 54 yards and a couple of touchdowns. At left tackle, he started on offense a year ago, but this will be his first start on the offensive line this season. Sully Slabinski, a 6'1", 215-pound senior. At the left guard, number 52, Aaron Cashman. He is 5'10", 248 pounds, a senior. Nick Heimbaugh starts at center for the Dogs. He's 5'11", 215, a senior. The right guard is number 79, Noah Craig, 5'11", 257, a senior. Starting at right tackle will be Mike Zalutko. He wears number 55, 6'1", 235, a senior. At the wide receiver positions, number 7, Tegan Wilk, 5'11", 186-pound senior. 6 catches so far to lead the team, 114 yards and a touchdown. And number 4, Sean Sheptog, the speedster, 6'2", 202-pound junior with a couple of catches on the season. The starting quarterback, number 10, Ryan Lawbar. He's a senior, 6 foot, 184 pounds, has completed 59% of his passes, 13 for 22, 241 yards, couple of touchdowns and 1 interception. He's run the ball 15 times, averaging just under 4 yards a carry. We'll also see Blaine Cleaver, who saw a lot of action in the second half of that game at Pittston area and looked very sharp. 2 for 3 in passing for 25 yards and a touchdown. He also ran 36 yards for a score. Cleaver, a 6'3", 219-pound junior. Might also see him at a tight end spot tonight. Leading rusher for the Bulldogs this season, number 16, Aiden Mason. 5'10", 212-pound sophomore. 21 carries for 216 yards and 2 touchdowns, averaging 10 yards a carry. And the fullback, number 42, Eric Montez. 6'1", 235 pounds, a senior, 8 carries, 32 yards, and 2 touchdowns. That's the Berwick offense under Carm DiFrancesco in his first year as head coach, his 23rd year as a head coach. His last appearance as a coach here at Crispin Field was in 1986. He was an assistant to Joe Jazz Diminick at Mount Carmel. Mount Carmel beat the Bulldogs 22-0 on a Monday night after the game was postponed both Friday and Saturday night. So a thrill for him to be the Berwick head coach and making his Crispin Field head coaching debut here tonight. Berwick against Williamsport. The keys to tonight's game, Andy Lickney.
Well, for the keys, Jim, I want to sort of paraphrase Creedence Clearwater Revival. I think the key is who'll stop the run. Both teams averaging about 250 yards rushing. Both teams with pretty strong defenses, under 50 yards being allowed. So I think the running game is going to sort of set the tone. Oh, both teams can pass. They'll get over 100 yards passing, and we'll see that mixed in. But you go with one key, it's who's going to stop the run. Berwick emphasizes Aiden Mason in its running game. He's a very powerful runner with that great mix of speed. Really came on last week, doing a wonderful job for Berwick. They like to counter off of him with the quarterback Ryan Mason running. And it's a tough running game to stop. They've beefed up their offensive line quite a bit to make sure that they're a little solid, stronger with their assignments. They'll mix in Blake Maurer and Tegan Wilk, try to break some big plays. And, they'll also go with the fullback in Eric Montez. He's been powering on up the middle. So it's a strong running game directed by quarterback Ryan Lombaugh. A lot of different weapons they can go with, featuring Aiden Mason, and it's tough to stop. When they're not just running the power game, they like to emphasize their trapping game. We saw them pulling people and doubling down, kicking out, and it's a very effective play, and I think we're going to see more of that as the season does develop. Now, that said, Williamsport's defense has been strong. They've shut out both opponents. No points scored on them this year. They're solid. They're anchored up front by Nasir Jones. He's 6'2", 220 pounds, an experienced defensive end. Is very solid. 4 strong linebackers, an experienced secondary. And they look to be pretty tough. So, Berwick's going to have its hands full trying to move the ball. Williamsport uses quickness to get to the ball, and, Berwick may be stronger with some of those counter plays. We'll see. Flip it around to Williamsport. They average 247 yards a game, and they feature 2 strong runners. Again, it's a running back. This time it's Keith Freeman. He's getting 148 yards a game. You mentioned his numbers, Jim. He's strong. Speedy, very talented individual. And they, too, like Berwick's Ryan Lombaugh, they feature a quarterback. In this case, for Williamsport, it's Dallas Grease. They're going to run a number of plays. It's a multiple offense, but they're going to feature the option. Now, it's a team that does not use a fullback, so we won't see the standard triple option. Berwick won't have to worry about a dive back inside first. But it'll be a down-the-line option with the quarterback wanting to turn the corner. If you play him, he's going to pitch, and he'll pitch it to Freeman and hope that they can make things go. A little different for Berwick. They're not used to seeing this. It's very difficult to coach against an option team. You have your 1 week to prepare, and you really have to drill in a different mentality. It's not, flow to the ball, fight to the ball. It's not over pursuit. You can't go out a little crazy like you want to as a defender, but you have to stay disciplined. You have to play your area of responsibility. It's assignment football, and Berwick, who likes to go right at you, wants to really come hard, is going to have to sort of hold themselves back, play with a little more restraint to make sure that they're covering all the option responsibilities. Now, they'll get a little bit more help. Defensive end will have the quarterback, outside backer will have the pitch man, but these guys can slip tackles. But you also have inside linebackers coming over, inside tackles chasing the play from behind, while the corners are going to have to focus that there's not a pass coming off of that option look. Free safety Tegan Wilk may not have to, and he's a bullet to the ball. He plays safety like a linebacker. He hits hard. Quarterbacks aren't as used to being hit with some ferocity. I think they're hoping that he can be a bit of a disruptor should they come with that option. They can truly free him up to play that running game in many cases, and that's what I see. Now, again, both teams will pass over 100 yards passing each way, but in my mind, the key is the team that runs the ball more effectively should win this one.
Yeah, 55 yards a game through the first two is all the rushing the opponents have done against Williamsport. And for Berwick, it's even more impressive. No one's got positive yardage, minus 34 yards rushing for that Berwick defense through the first two games. The captain's about to meet at the center of the field, meeting the officiating crew. Chuck Supon, the referee. Al Williams is the umpire. Mike Monahan is the linesman. Steve Jimsky is the line judge. The field judge is Dave Navraki. And Chris Barnick is the side judge. Just a gorgeous night. We still have sunshine over most of the field. That won't be for much of this opening quarter, as the referee Chuck Supon indicates that Berwick won the toss, and they'll get that great defense on the field to start. Williamsport will get the football, and they'll be moving from our right to our left when we return with that kickoff. You're listening to Berwick Football on Sports Radio HLM.
Where do you go when your vehicle needs service? Who do you trust when it comes to keeping your vehicle performing at its best? Ken Pollock Ford, your neighborhood service center. Stop in, relax, catch up with old friends, and get the works for $29.95. Our certified techs will change your oil, rotate your tires, perform a vehicle checkup, and top off all your fluids. That's everyday low pricing. Don't worry about the emblem on the hood. The works is valid on any make and any model. That's service at Ken Pollock Ford. Schedule online at kenpollockford.com or stop in and see us. Route 11 Berwick.
When you need the services of a professional law firm, you need the law offices of Lutz & Petty at 916 West Front Street in Berwick. Lutz & Petty is your hometown choice for elder law and asset protection, criminal law, estate planning, real estate, and personal injury. The full-service legal team of Lutz & Petty takes this opportunity to wish the Berwick Bulldogs a successful and injury-free season. Call them at 570-218-4888. The law offices of Lutz & Petty, protecting you. Go Dogs!
Berwick Bulldog Football, HLM.
Riverview Block of Berwick, with over 75 years of service, can handle all your block and concrete needs. They carry all sizes of concrete block, including decorative E.P. Henry landscaping block. Their concrete is PennDOT approved and delivered with front discharge trucks. Riverview Block also carries masonry supplies, tools, cement, sand, and stone. For prompt delivery, call Riverview Block, 570-552-7191. Riverview Block is proud to support the Berwick Bulldogs.
How does free and easy checking with no baggage sound? Well, there is a little baggage. The free rolling duffel bag you get when you sign up for free and easy checking with First Columbia Bank. Not only will you get a checking account with no monthly fees and free online and mobile banking, First Columbia will also buy back your unused checks and debit cards from your old bank. Plus, for a limited time, you will receive a free Travelers Club rolling duffel bag when you open a checking account or refer a friend to us. First Columbia Bank, with you every step of the way. Restrictions and data rates may apply.
At Traditional Home Healthcare, their beliefs make all the difference. You have the right to choose the highest level of healthcare in your own home, from pediatrics to seniors, as well as non-skilled home care services like meal prep, housekeeping, and companionship. They'll work with you every step of the way to create a care plan for your loved one, because Traditional is more than a home healthcare agency. They're your extended family when family can't be there. Visit traditionalhomehealthcare.com today.
This is Berwick Football football coach, Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football.
WHLM Williamsport, WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
Sung by the choral group from Berwick High School, the Millionaires, prior to this home opener for the Bulldogs, taking on the Millionaires of Williamsport. This will be the 33rd meeting between these two schools. Berwick leads the series 23-9. Last season, the Bulldogs got 240 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns from Owen Shoemaker, and winning at Williamsport 41-17. And mentioned earlier, though, Williamsport's been a different team since Charles Crew's arrival. They had just 2 winning seasons and 3 winless seasons from 2002 to the time that he took over. So he's done a terrific job, but a relatively young team this season. 16 of their 22 starters are underclassmen. Big sophomore class. As the Millionaires will receive the kickoff to start this game, Ed Jefferson, Keith Freeman are back deep, and Eric Montez has been doing a very good job kicking off for the Bulldogs. Tees it up for Berwick.
He is. He kicks from the left hash, and it goes pretty much straight, maybe a little hook to the left, where he'd like to pin the team into one side of the field. Most football programs going in that direction. He's been kicking to the 10, even to the 5, and even inside of that with almost all of his kicks.
Montez has waiting the signal from the officiating crew. Gets it. And the home opener for the Bulldogs is underway as the kick comes up high and short. There's the 14-yard line, the far side of the field. It's Freeman to the 20, to the 25, to the 30. Nice return. Over the 35 to the 36-yard line. Keith Freeman with the return. Berwick defensively will go with Eric Montez and Anthony Sisko at the ends. Mason Lawbaugh and Sullivan Slabinski at the tackles. Blaine Cleaver, Ryan Lawbaugh, strong safety and weak safety. Mike Salutko and Dallas Schechterly are the linebackers. The corners, Sean Sheptock and Preston Robbins, who missed the first game with an injury, gets his first start of the season at a corner. The free safety is Tegan Wilk.
Evan Meehan down to make that tackle. Could have gone for more.
First and 10, Millionaires from their 36-yard line. And immediately, Berwick jumps across. And it'll be a 5-yard walk-off, and the Millionaires will have a first and 5 from the 41-yard line. They lined up in the pistol initially with Freeman behind the quarterback, Dallas Grease.
Berwick hasn't been that penalized throughout the season, less than last year. So a bit of an aberration to start with a 5-yarder and handicap yourself defensively.
And just a little over-anxiousness along that front. Here's a first and 5, Millionaires at their 41. Grease now lines up Freeman to his left. Grease has the snap, and he throws over the middle, incomplete. It was intended for the tight end. Nasir Jones at the 45-yard line, pass beyond his reach. It'll be second and 5.
Nasir Jones is a weapon. He's tall, listed at 6'2", 210 pounds. Nice to release. Usually they can be shorter passes, found the seam. The leading receiver on the team with 5 catches and 62 yards after the first 2 games.
Slot to the left, Mazzani wide to the right. Now out of the pistol with Freeman behind the quarterback, Dallas Grease, who has the snap and gives the ball to Freeman. His first carry's going nowhere. Eric Montez among the people in on the play for the Bulldogs. He has been outstanding in the early going.
He has. Mason Lawbaugh also. I believe it was a tackle twist where he's going from inside outside. Got great penetration, forced the play in, and Williamsport will lose a couple of yards on that run.
So it's third down and 8 now, as Nasir Jones, the tight end, will move to a slot position. Slot to the right, slot to the left, out of the gun. Grease, third down and 8 call coming. Has the snap, back to throw, fires downfield, incomplete. Ed Jefferson, the closest player there, but plenty of coverage downfield. Preston Robbins from his corner spot. Tegan Wilk from his safety position. So Williamsport got a 1st and 5 after that penalty, but nothing going after that. 4th and 8, the punt team on.
Yeah, nice 4-man rush. Berwick doesn't feel it has to blitz. It can keep people back in coverage. They locked on the 4 immediate receivers, plus used free safety help in the coverage, and there was just nowhere to go with the football.
Dade Splain was a long snapping. Dallas Grease deep. Snap is a good one. And the kick is away. A low line drive kick. Berwick will let it roll, and it takes a great roll for Williamsport. Boy, it was a tough situation, but you kind of have to come up and get that one because it goes all the way to the 8. It was not a particularly good punt, but lots of yardage on the roll, and Berwick at their own 8-yard line for their first possession going against a Williamsport defense that lines up with Avery Campbell and Nasir Jones at the ends, Connor Atkins and Ian Welshins at the tackles. Inside linebackers, Drake Mankey and Stevan Jefferson. Outside, Keith Freeman and Ed Jefferson. The corners, Cameron Sims and Malik Jones. The safety is Trayvon Eisworth.
Berwick got caught between. You couldn't catch it in the air. It was a line drive, a weak one, as you mentioned. But to field it on the bounce would have been dangerous as they had their headhunters down there.
From the 8-yard line, Ryan Lawbaugh out of the gun. Aiden Mason is the running back. Mason gets the call, tries the left side to pick up just a couple to the 10-yard line.
Yeah, nice play by defensive tackle Ian Welshans. He read it, saw the man going from right to left, followed it from his side, chased it down. He'll earn a yard or two because of the powerful running.
2nd down and 8, Bulldogs at their 10-yard line. Center Nick Heimbaugh over the football. Slot to the right side, slot to the left. Man in motion is John Sheptock, and keeping the football is Ryan Lawbaugh. He's got some running room, and he's out near the 18-yard line. Well, they sent Sheptock in motion, faked the jet sweep, and Ryan Lawbaugh, the quarterback, kept the football and picked up the 1st down, 9 yards on the carry to the 19.
A very unique version of the zone read. Man coming in motion becomes the man. You stick it in his belly and walk with him with that mesh. Quarterback pulls it out, goes the open way, and Ryan Lawbaugh gets the chains with tough running.
Again, a double slot formation. Lawbaugh out of the gun. Gives the ball to Mason. Aiden Mason straight ahead. Will get over the 20, out to about the 22. We'll pick up about 3 on the carry.
Drake Mankey, as well as Nasir Jones, getting on the inside. It'll be tough to run. They have experience in there on the inside. Berwick's done nothing but run so far, and they still earned 4 yards there. So 1st down success as they start the new part of the drive.
2nd down, or call it 7 as they mark it at the 22-yard line. Slot to the left, slot to the right. Wilk in motion. Keeping the ball is Lawbaugh. Lawbaugh has the 1st down again, out over the 30 to the 35-yard line. Again, they fake that jet sweep, that time coming from the other direction with Tegan Wilk. And Williamsport giving that a lot of attention. And Lawbaugh keeping the football, picks up 13 yards and a 1st down.
Well, you know you have to give a lot of attention to Tegan Wilk. And, boy, he suffered for it. He got hit and run off. But Lawbaugh pulled the ball out, went off the left side, had the soft corner, stiff-armed his counterpart out there at cornerback in Williamsport's quarterback, Dallas Grease.
From the 35-yard line, Lawbaugh keeps again off the right side, is stood up, hit hard, and gets to the 40, maybe the 41-yard line. Flag down on the play. After the play, I think this will go against the Millionaires.
Nasir Jones put a shocking hit on him. One of those where he met Lawbaugh coming at him, and he's much bigger and stronger. It took him off his feet and took him down to the ground hard. I then went to mark my statistics and didn't see the action, but a 15-yard penalty on one of the Millionaires after that rather hard hit.
So that will take it all the way to the Millionaires' 44-yard line, where Berwick has a 1st and 10. They made a good defensive play, yes, but then the big mistake in the 15-yard penalty, and Berwick has the football. So a 6-yard gain and then a 15-yard penalty. The Bulldogs in business at the Williamsport 44. Blake Maurer in there, takes the handoff, sweeps the left side. He stood up after a short gain, maybe the 43-yard. Then Ed Jefferson makes the stop. Jefferson, 5'8", 165-pound senior, playing outside linebacker. They give them to the 42-yard line, 2nd and 8.
Williamsport's been solid when they're seeing basic running backs coming at them. Where they've struggled is when the quarterback's able to pull it away and you get that quarterback running after a fake.
Anthony Barada's in as a wide receiver to the left. Slot left, slot right. 2nd down call. Long ball back to throw. Fires over the middle. The ball is tipped and incomplete. Boy, he had Tegan Wilk open over the middle, and the pass appeared to be well thrown, but someone got back there and got a hand on it.
Yeah, in the linebacker area, they wanted to get to the seam, but they couldn't get it over that linebacker. Ryan Lawbaugh saw his man rushing down that hash, and boy, he rifled it as a pass. Linebacker got an arm up and probably has a sore hand after batting that one away, but he'll take it.
3rd and 8, Berwick near the 42-yard line of the Millionaires. Again, the double slot. Lawbaugh back to throw. Dumps a pass out here to Aiden Mason. He's hit hard. The ball knocked free, and it goes as an incompletion. Ed Jefferson was all over Mason as soon as his hands touched the ball. Mason clobbered by Jefferson. Goes as an incompletion and a punting situation for Berwick, 4th down and 8.
Yeah, a little bit of an easy read. Aiden Mason flared out of the backfield as the Singleton blocking back. And you can see Ryan Lawbaugh looking in his direction. He actually waited until he could clear a defensive end to get a passing lane. And by that time, Jefferson really had him lined up.
Jake Lanning with the snap. Sean Sheptock with the punt. A beauty. Jefferson lets it go over his head. It bounces inside the 10. Takes a nice bounce where Berwick is concerned. Goes all the way down near the 3-yard line. So an effective punt by Sheptock, as Jefferson just let it go, and it takes a nice bounce where Berwick is concerned. Sometimes they just go into the end zone, and Williamsport for their next possession, 1st and 10 at their own 3-yard line, 7:39 to go in a scoreless first quarter.
A boomer of a punt, and we're expecting those from Sean Sheptock, an excellent athlete, whatever part of the game it happens to be. And I would have cleared away and let it bounce and expected it to go to the end zone, but it bounced sideways and then rolled toward the end zone.
Grease has the snap, gives the ball to Freeman. Freeman up the gut, looking for running room, not much there. Gets to the 5, maybe the 6-yard line. 2nd down coming for the Millionaires.
Mason Lawbaugh getting a good arm and shoulder in and wrestling him down. Very short gain, just a yard or so.
They mark it at the 5, 2nd down and 8 for Williamsport. Slot to the left. Cameron Sims is in as a wide receiver. He's in the slot. Moyer outside of him. See if Williamsport dares to go to the air from their own 5-yard line. Freeman from the pistol. Gets the call. Gets by one man and then is stood up as Berwick swarms to the football. 11 players on defense. There had to be 7 around that football.
And Mason Lawbaugh seemed unblocked. He certainly found the ball carry as the man tried to go off left tackle and cut it back. Momentarily seemed closed immediately. And a nice physical play by Lawbaugh and the rest of the Berwick defense.
Now 3rd and 8, Williamsport brings Keith Freeman, their outstanding running back, out of the game. And they have Drake Menke as the running back in the pistol. 3rd and 8. Menke gets the call, tries the right side, has a little bit of running room, but not enough, as he is brought down about 3 yards short of the first down off the right side.
Yeah, should force the punt unless they take an unbelievable risk. Berwick bringing their punt return unit out. And Williamsport now making all the changes except leaving the quarterback, Grease, in there, who is also the punter.
6 yards of the carry, but they come up short. Dallas Grease, 3 yards deep in his own end zone, awaiting the snap from Dave Splain. Berwick figures to get good field position as Splain, the snap a little bit high. Grease fields it, gets the kick away. Low line drive kick. Bounces at the Williamsport 45. Takes a Millionaire roll, but not much. Sits down right around midfield. So that's where Berwick will put it in play for their second possession of this game. 5:35 remaining in a scoreless first quarter.
Some things I like about the Williamsport punt coverage unit. For one, when they're down there and that ball's bouncing, they're not afraid to give a little shove to a Berwick player who happens to be standing nearby. Give him a little shove, see if you can get him to touch the ball. Berwick should have cleared out. The other thing is that unique motion, Jim. Rarely do we see headhunters go in motion from left all the way to right. The punter is going to punt it in that direction, and he's going to be freed up as the man has to try to follow him across the formation with speed as he turns upfield. I've never seen it, and now that I do see it, it's why aren't more teams doing this?
Second possession for Berwick. Much better field position to start this possession. First time they had it back at their 8. Now they're at midfield. Tegan Wilkes splits wide to the left side. Slot to the right. Barada in the slot. They'll operate from the shotgun. Aiden Mason to the left of Brian Lawbaugh. Gets the snap. Gives to Mason. Tries the right side. Nothing doing. He'll lose yardage back to the 46. Nasir Jones from his defensive end position. A year ago, he was great at that position. He had 19 tackles for loss, 7 sacks. He got a tackle for loss there. Loss of 4 back to the 46, second and 14.
I think Berwick wanted to come counter Trey, pull the backside, but he got such quick penetration. He turned it in before they can kick him out. Really a fine play by Nasir Jones.
Second down and 14, Bulldogs at their 46. Slot to the left side. Blaine Cleavers, the tight end to the right. Lawbaugh out of the gun. Back to throw. Dumps the pass off to Maurer. Blake Maurer over midfield. So 45 down the sideline, 35. The 30, the 25, and dragged down from behind inside the 20-yard line. Cameron Sims makes the saving stop. Little dump off to Blake Maurer, and he does the rest.
Yeah, set up the screen. This team's coming and getting penetration, so let the penetration come. Ryan Lawbaugh able to drop it off to Blake Maurer, who's just a few yards away from him, and Blake Maurer takes it through traffic, but enough interference to sort of weave his way through and then break into open field, and only the great speed of Sims able to run him down.
35 yards on the reception. Berwick first and 10 at the Williamsport 19-yard line. Lawbaugh under center now. Gives to the fullback Montez, and Eric Montez is gang tackled after a gain of a yard, maybe 2 on the play. Ed Jefferson among the people coming from his linebacker position.
I like the notion of pounding. You know, you got your big run. Rest those people up. They're going to be a little tired. See what your line can do. Put a challenge to them. Right now, they have not dominated this defense in front of Williamsport. Eric Montez, the type of bull runner you think might move them a little bit. At that time.
Second and 8, Berwick from the 17-yard line. Blake Maurer on a wing to the right side. In motion is Tegan Wilk. Wilk up the middle will get to the 15 and no further. They'll pick up about 2 on the play, so big third down call coming for Berwick, although they're probably in 4-down territory here at the Williamsport 15-yard line.
Things are a little chippy. Tegan Wilk came up thinking, hey, they tackled me by the back of my helmet, twisted me on down. I thought the hit on Blake Maurer at the end was a little bit of an extra slap. I saw 2 officials over to our right, away from the play, looking like, hey, do we have to break up a fight here? Keep an eye on things getting out of control.
Double tight end. Cisco to the right. Schechterly to the left. Third down and 6 from the 15. Maurer in motion. A toss sweep to him. Looking for room. Williamsport's all over the play. He'll lose yardage back to the 21-yard line. Great pursuit to the football by the Millionaires. And a loss on the play.
Yeah, they're reading it. They're not being fooled by the jet sweep when it's been a give. The jet sweep, when they've read it and made a quarterback run, the zone read has worked. So far, nothing on these wide plays.
4th and 12, Berwick at the 21-yard line. Malik Jones made that last play for the Millionaires. 4th down, Bulldogs going for it. Slot to either side. Here comes Wilk in motion. A fake toss to him. Lawbaugh back to throw, and he's looking for Wilk, and he's open, and the pass just beyond his reach at the goal line. Nicely set up play. The ball just overthrown. Millionaires will take over the football with 2:16 to go in the first and no score.
Yeah, wonderful design. Bootleg action with a good fake. Noah Craig took the defensive end out of the play as he pulled to protect wide on the bootleg. But you're throwing across the field from the left hash toward the right side of the field, and the timing just off. Tegan Wilk couldn't quite catch up to it.
Millionaires, 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line. Grease awaits the shotgun snap. Fake to Menke, rolls right, looking downfield, fires to the sideline, a diving attempt by Mazzani, and a great catch at the 30-yard line. Boy, as good as you'll see at the high school level. Braden Mazzani lays out and gets the ball out to the 30-yard line.
One man wanted to move the chains. The other says no. 9.5 on that. It was a beautiful catch.
Second down and 1. Millionaires from their own 30-yard line. Under center is Grease. Gives the ball off to Mankey, and he's buried for a loss of a couple.
Yep. Defensive end, Eric Montez, twisting from his outside position, coming up over where the tackle would be, met him head on in the backfield and drove him back.
So it is a third down for the Millionaires. Back at their 28-yard line, third down and 3. As Grease out of the gun. Man in motion. It's Jefferson. He gets the call, and he's cut down. Boy, a nice defensive play by the Bulldogs. That's Blaine Cleaver. Went down low, got him by the ankles, right about the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard on the play. It's going to be 4th and 2, and punt team on for the Millionaires.
Blaine Cleaver plays that strong side outside linebacker, and he had contained. He saw the play coming from the backside over his way. Gave it enough room when the runner committed up, went out, took him out at the knees.
Dallas Grease back to do the punting. Dade Splain with a high snap. Grease able to pull it down and get the kick away. Nice punt. High and deep, fair catch called by 2 Bulldogs. It's Antonio Barada who makes the grab at the 35-yard line. So Berwick's third possession is opening quarter. Nothing on the board yet. 25 seconds to go in the period. Bulldogs and Williamsport locked in a 0-0 tie, which might be expected at this point, considering the way these teams have played defense for the first 2 weeks of the season.
Berwick had the edge early in the game, driving the ball, running the quarterbacks where they're getting their best chunks, a little screen pass as well. But then all of a sudden, Williamsport kind of got a little annoyed, kind of got a chip on their shoulder, started getting a little chippy, hitting a little harder, throwing people down, brought themselves back into this game.
Jordan Young at right tackle for Mike Zalutko on this series. Ball under center, gives it to Brado, and he in turn gives it to Wilk, and he's got room over midfield, down the far sideline, 35-30. And Tegan Wilk is going to go all the way for a score. A double handoff. We haven't seen that for the Bulldogs yet. 65 yards for Tegan Wilk.
Wonderfully executed. Play starts off to the left, the ball handed off visibly, and Tegan Wilk comes the other way. So it sort of counters the over-aggressiveness of Williamsport in playing these jet sweeps. Berwick's been handing to people, and they've been running them down on the periphery. Hand it, run there, and then come back. They got to put on the brakes, reverse the jets, and they just cannot do it and catch Tegan Wilkes.
Brendan Hinkle will attempt the extra point out of the hold of Tegan Wilk. Jake Lanning, good snap, placement, kick is up, kick is good. Time on the field, 14 seconds to go, opening quarter. Berwick 7, Williamsport nothing. You're listening to Berwick Football on Sports Radio HLM.
Sweet deals in summer don't last long. And at Ken Pollock Ford, America's best-selling lineup is selling fast during the Hurry Up and Save sales event. We've got something for everyone, from fast sports cars and sedans made for cruising to comfy crossovers and functional F-150s. See why we're the brand with the most 5-star reviews. Build Ford proud and made for you. Let Ken Pollock Ford sweeten the deal. Count on hassle-free, transparent sales and financing fit for what works for you. Ken Pollock Ford, your neighborhood Ford dealer. Route 11 Berwick or KenPollockFord.com.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football.
WHLM Williamsport, WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
Berwick comes up with a big play. A 65-yard run by Tegan Wilk on the double handoff. First to Antonio Barada, then to Tegan Wilk. Puts on the afterburners. Berwick with a 7-0 lead. 14 seconds to go in this opening quarter. A kick by Montez, high and deep, and Freeman back to the 3-yard line, to the 10. The sophomore looking for room to the 20, the 25, over the 30, down the sideline 40, 45, and forced out of bounds across the way, inside the Berwick 45-yard line at the 43. A terrific return by Keith Freeman.
Preston Robbins played it like a man from the secondary, making sure the man's not going to cut back against him. give him the sideline, give him a little bit more yards, but eventually force him out of bounds. He was able to break contained downfield, got inside the contained man, then broke to the sideline. And that gives Williamsport their best field position so far.
51-yard kick return by the sophomore Keith Freeman. 1st and 10, Williamsport at the Berwick 44-yard line. 1.4 seconds to go in this opening quarter. Out of the pistol. Grease is going to option right. Pitch the ball to Freeman. Freeman is hit at the 50. Getting tackled. And he'll lose yardage. A loss of 6 on the final play of this opening quarter with the score. Berwick 7, Williamsport nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
S.J. Kowalski Heating and Air Conditioning sells comfort. Since 1972, S.J. Kowalski understands the importance of doing business locally. They service what they sell and take pride in customer satisfaction. S.J. Kowalski is a trained comfort specialist, a Lennox dealer, and they are Northeastern Pennsylvania's premier dealer of Mitsubishi ductless mini-split systems. S.J. Kowalski also sells and installs energy-efficient Renai water heaters and geothermal systems. Call 1-888-KOWALSKI and ask about special promotions and zero-interest financing.
Berwick Bulldog football.
In the first quarter, Southern Columbia leads Selinsgrove 21-0. Bloomsburg leads North Penn Mansfield 7-0, and Central Columbia leads Lehighton 13-0 in the first. I'm Ben Willis for Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football.
HLM.
Jim Doyle and Andy Lichty from Crespin Field of Berwick. It's the Bulldogs' home opener. They lead Williamsport 7-0 after one quarter of play. We start the second quarter with Williamsport in possession, moving from our left to a right. They have a 2nd down and 16 after the loss by Keith Freeman following his long kick return.
Berwick has practiced against that option, Jim. They really played it well there. Quarterback nowhere to go, pitchman nowhere to go.
Grease has the snap. Quick out. Incomplete, but a flag down. Sean Sheptock was all over the intended receiver, Braden Mazzanti, and the flag right there.
Yeah, he played it the only way he could. The man takes one step and slants inside. He's playing him very tightly, but he's going to be behind. If he lets it through, he's going to make the catch. So he tries to reach from the back, has a hand on the hip, and it's a pretty obvious flag there. A little bit more than the completed pass would have been, assuming you'd have brought him down right at the point of the catch, and you can't make that assumption.
It goes to the Berwick 35-yard line. It's not an automatic first down. It's close, though. 2nd down and a short 1 for the Millionaires.
And yet they're deep in shotgun. Tailback 7 yards off the ball.
Slot to the right side. Cameron Sims in that slot. They're going to option right. No, he's going to throw. Grease looking long downfield to Sims in the end zone. The ball is incomplete. Closing quickly was Tegan Wilk. Deep for the Bulldogs along with Sean Sheptock.
Yeah, they figured they'd go deep. They had a down to play with and maybe 2 downs to play with here with about half a yard to go. So they did throw the bomb. Berwick ended up getting their hands up, waving them in front of the eyes of the receiver, which you're allowed to do in high school football. No interference flagged. Shouldn't have been.
Ian Welshens comes in as the lone running back for this short down situation. He gets the ball and runs hard for a first down to the 30-yard line.
He's a big fellow, 5'9", 225 pounds, and athletic. He had 2 carries on the season for a yard, this time in the short yardage situation. Comfortably moves the chains as he goes off the hip of the right guard and probably gets more like 4 yards overall.
It is a 4-yard gain to the Berwick 31-yard line. So Williamsport threatening here early in the second quarter. Bulldogs leading by a score of 7-0. Menke is the lone running back. Fake to him. Pitch to Sims coming around. He's got through the 30 and hit really, really hard at the 24-yard line by Tegan Wilk. But a good gain on first down for the Millionaires. They said Sims in motion. He takes the pitch and gets to the 24-yard line. 7 yards on the carry. 2nd down to 3.
And watch them coming back to that. It really opened up. Wide receiver to the right. Blocks the corner out toward the sideline. The other man is in far away, so there's a natural seam. Berwick didn't get anyone upfield to play it. Tegan Wilk makes the tackle at 7 yards.
Out of the pistol, Menke gets the call off the left side, and he's got the first down inside the 20-yard line. So Williamsport finally getting something going on the ground.
And again, a little action away from the play as blocking receivers, going at cornerbacks, tackling and wrestling each other. No flag thrown, but the officials seeing it.
6 yards of the carry by Drake Menke to the 18-yard line. Again, this is a Berwick defense that has allowed minus 34 yards rushing in the 2 games to date. So anything can get on the ground against them is a bonus. Menke did a nice job there, and he remains in there. And he gets the ball again, this time not much doing. A yard maybe to the 17-yard line.
Trying to slash and get inside. Ethan Hughes has been playing some defensive tackle. That's his second tackle that I've seen of the night as he crashes on down. Takes the feet out of Menke.
2 yards to the 16-yard line. Second down and 8 for the Millionaires. They send Brock Moyer wide to the left. Nasir Jones in a slot that way. Mazzanti, who had the great catch earlier, is wide to the right against Sean Sheptock. Grease has the snap, throws toward Sheptock, incomplete. He was all over the intended receiver. Mazzanti, there is a flag down on the play.
Not an interference. I didn't see where the flag went.
Illegal procedure against Williamsport.
Decisions.
Yeah, if the Berwick declines, it'll bring up a 3rd down and 8.
And you're close to field goal range. Jonathan Kramer, the kicker for Williamsport, has one field goal this year. It would be long from here. I think I'd decline this. They've moved it back. Well, let's see.
Yep, they're going to mark it off.
Okay, I can understand it either way. Now you put it on your defense to keep them back here. This is definitely out of field goal range.
3rd down. Second down and 14 for the Millionaires.
Try to force a turnover in these situations, too.
Jefferson goes in motion to the left, and throwing the ball to him is Grease, and Jefferson gets very little. A great range by Blaine Cleaver. He really covers the field. A quick out to a quick back in Jefferson, and Cleaver is all over the play. They mark it at the 24-yard line.
No yards or a loss of a yard as Cleaver really did make up yardage quickly. He had him eyeballed. He watched the motion. He saw him going out there. And when the quarterback stepped, he broke to the play and caught him at the line of scrimmage on that swing pass.
He actually lost 3 yards on it, back to the 24. So it's 3rd down and 16. Williamsport at the Berwick 24-yard line. Slot to the right, slot to the left. Grease has the step, and he's back to throw, and he fires quickly, and he has a man. The completion to the 15-yard line. Cleaver on the tackle of Nasir Jones. So they picked up 9. It's going to be 4th down and 7. Probably in the range of the field goal kicker, but Grease over at that sideline. Now they are bringing in a number of subs. We'll see how they go. I think they're going to go for it.
I think so. It's not easy in high school football to make such a kick. They're going to spot it, though, Jim. They'll spot it at the 22.
Well, Kramer has a 43-yarder. This is a 32-yard attempt out of the hold of Grease. Snap, placement, kick is up, and the kick is good. Officials under the goalpost looked at one another and delayed. It was a line drive kick, but it got through there from 32 yards out. Tied on the field. 8:51 remaining in the first half of play. Berwick 7, Williamsport 3. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
If you have a child that's interested in gymnastics, or if you've been practicing the sport for years, then Access Gymnastics Academy is where you want to be. Their dedicated coaches will teach you everything you need to know to perform your best, from the basics of flexibility, form, and style to advanced techniques that will improve your rhythm and style during a routine. Call Heidi Rebuck at Access Gymnastics Academy at 570-441-5969. That's 570-441-5969. Now enrolling for beginner to advanced classes at 917 East 7th Street in Bloomsburg.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football.
WHLM Bloomsburg, WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
Williamsport kicker, senior Jonathan Kramer with his second field goal of the season. This one from 32 yards out. Caps a 9-play scoring drive. The Millionaires are on the board. Berwick leads 7-3, 8:51 to go opening half.
Not a boomer, but he managed to get it through. The officials had to look one to the other. Was it good on your end? Did it get inside here? Was it up over the crossbar? They did raise the hands.
Here's Kramer kicking off following his field goal. Booms one high and deep, and Tegan Wilk back to the 2-yard line, to the 5, to the 10. Skirts a tackler, trying to get outside. He will be gang tackled at the 20-yard line. So that's where the Bulldogs will put it in play. Their lead now cut to 7-3.
Every opportunity he gets, you should try a return. That almost had him back his foot into the end zone. Came up, got to the 20, and then kind of stopped, stalled, chugged his feet. Which way can I go? Can I find the lane? And the man jumped on his back as no lane presented itself.
So the Bulldogs will put it in play from their 20, moving from our right to our left in this second quarter. Blake Maurer, Preston Robbins, Sean Sheptock, all to the right. And split to the left, Antonio Barada. And Lawbaugh keeps the football after a fake to Mason. A strong run by him out to the 30-yard line. Ryan Lawbaugh is a quarterback who runs like a fullback. Ran over a tackler on that carry and very close to the first down.
Yeah, the design of the play has been troubling Williamsport's defense. They follow the initial action. Quarterback keeps it, goes the other way. He goes off left tackle. He has the first 5 yards. Then he has to drop that shoulder and drive for the next 5. 9.5, as will be just short of the chains. Official stoppage. We might have a player tying a shoe, Jimmy.
We have 8 minutes and 13 seconds remaining in this opening half. Good crowd on hand. Beautiful night for high school football. The Bulldogs home opener. Both teams 2-0. Here's a second down. Less than a yard. Lawbaugh has the snap, gives the ball to Mason over the 35, the 40, the 45, down this sideline, and tripped up from behind. Big run by Aiden Mason. Lazier Whaley got him by the ankles from behind. Mason, you know, is a powerful runner, but he's also got good speed when he gets to the open field.
Quick hitter, Jimmy. They've been doing a lot of fake handoff, let the quarterback run it. That time it wasn't the fake. It was the immediate handoff over left guard, and he just split the defense. It was back on its heels a little bit. Before you know it, he's past the linebackers and soaring.
31 yards on the carry. 1st and 10, Berwick at the Williamsport 40-yard line. And Blaine Cleaver in there at quarterback, and he hands the ball off. It's to Mason again. He's hit, and he fumbles the football. Williamsport tries to get it, and they do before it goes out of bounds near the 22-yard line.
He got hit, and he just fumbled forward and toward the sideline. And Williamsport's the only people there. Stavon Jefferson with the recovery. Had to pick it up, keep his feet inbounds, and the official saw it very cleanly and awarded the turnover.
So Berwick misses out on a scoring opportunity as Tavon Jefferson, with the fumble recovery. And Millionaires scored on their last possession, trail 7-3, have it at their 21-yard line. 7:32 to go in this opening half. Slot to the left, slot to the right. Grease had trouble with the snap, and then he's buried back at the 17-yard line.
Yeah, who got there first for Berwick? It's 99, Anthony Sisko. But also Ethan Hughes is there, and another man even deeper going to where the dropped ball had been. So Berwick with this front four getting the penetration, and with that little bit of a muff really blowing that play up, setting the quarterback back 4 yards.
Second down and 14. Millionaires at their 17-yard line. Out of the pistol. Freeman is behind the quarterback, Dallas Grease, who gets the snap, goes to handoff, and there's no one there, and Schechterle runs him over inside the 10-yard line. Mistake on the part of the Millionaires.
Yeah, busted play. You can see that they had too many people going to the left and no one for the quarterback to hand off to. By the time he realizes they had the presence, say, well, I'll just chase them and make it a quarterback sweep, but no. Schechterle blitzing just drives through him for a huge loss.
Ball back at the 8-yard line. Loss of 9 on the play. Third down and 23. Millionaires back at their 8. Grease now under center. Freeman deep in the backfield. Freeman gets the call, tries the left side, and not much. The 10, maybe the 11. So fourth down and punting situation, and Berwick figures to get good field position.
Yes, they do. Punter will be punting out of the end zone. That's Grease, the quarterback, and he's been hit a little bit in this series. Dropped the very low shotgun snap, and then on that busted play, took the hit from Dallas Schechterly.
Grease standing 5 yards deep in his own end zone. Awaiting the snap. As usual, they send a man in motion. Snap is there. The kick is away. Off the side of his foot. Headed toward the sideline. Short kick, and Berwick's going to get not good position. Terrific field position around their Williamsport 34-yard line with 5:34 to go in the half, and the Bulldogs leading by a score of 7-3.
Aiden Mason, who fumbled that ball away right about this point, will really be thanking the defense for the charge they put on, knocking this team backwards. And then, pressure forces weak punts on occasion. Now he'll have a chance with the offensive unit to make something happen and get points on the board.
Just 23 yards on that punt. Berwick in business at the Williamsport 34-yard line. Ball back in there at the quarterback spot.
Maurer side of him.
Pena is the running back to his left as Williamsport uses a timeout. 5:34 to go. First half. Berwick 7, Williamsport 3. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Neighbor Fence Company has fencing for where you want it, serving Columbia, Montour, and Luzerne counties. Neighbor Fence provides top-quality residential and commercial fencing, vinyl, chain link, wood, aluminum, and ornamental fencing, plus vinyl railing and specialty products. Neighbor Fence Company, 1140 State Route 239 in Wapwallopen. Call 570-752-4423 or visit them online at neighborfencecompany.com. Neighbor Fence Company is a proud sponsor of local youth athletic teams.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football.
WHLM Williamsport, WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
Berwick with the football. First and 10 at the Williamsport 34. 5:34 to go in the half. Bulldogs lead 7-3. Lawbaugh throws a quick hitter to Keegan Wilk on the right side, and Wilk tackled quickly as he got inside the 35 to the 33-yard line, picked up a yard or two on the play. Second down coming.
Defensive end Nasir Jones read that so quickly he turned from his rush out to Keegan Wilk, who's the inside man in trips, who wanted to run it inside. Spun him to the ground and actually knocked the ball away.
Second and 9. Brought it wide left. Trips to the right side. Lawbaugh fakes handoff, keeps the football inside the 30, down to the 25-yard line. Ryan Lawbaugh having a big first half carrying the football.
5 carries, 46 yards. Player down. Is it Lawbaugh? We'll see.
We will have the injury timeout with 4:49 to go in this half. And Berwick leading this one 7-3.
It is the quarterback, Jim Ryan Lawbaugh. As the teams go to their sidelines, they'll get a little bit extra water. And we'll be seeing Blaine Cleaver. But boy, Ryan Lawbaugh has been leading this team in this game with the running game. Williamsport extremely aggressive defensively, over pursues. And they often go with the first motion. That's why the double reverse by Tegan Wilkes scored the touchdown. And that's why Ryan Lawbaugh, reading a man, going with him, and then breaking against the grain the other way on his fake with the football, has been able to have almost 50 yards here at halftime. But right now they're going to tend to him, and we'll see Blaine Cleaver come in. Blaine Cleaver looked very sharp last week. Looks very comfortable as a quarterback. Ran the offense nicely in the plays that he did have.
Yeah, very few teams on any level, particularly high school, are too deep at the quarterback position. For most teams, they lose their starting quarterback for any amount of time, and it's over. But Berwick, very, very fortunate to have two. Of course, Lawbaugh, terrific defensive player as well. So, you lose him for any time, you're losing two players, and he is on his feet, but getting helped to the sideline, and it will be Blaine Cleaver in there.
Not an injury to any of the appendages. Legs and arms seem okay, but he's a little woozy walking off, Jim. They're going to go through concussion protocol with him before they let him back in.
Third down and 2 for Berwick at the 26-yard line of the Millionaires.
Watch the quarterback keeping it himself.
Blaine Cleaver is under center. Long count. gives the ball to Lopez. Alejandro Lopez has the first down off the right side. Lopez, a 5'8", 186-pound junior, 7 carries for 28 yards on the season coming into this one. Picks up the first down near the 22-yard line, give him 4 yards.
He is solid, but in a critical drive before half, you'd expect to see Aiden Mason or at least Blake Maher in there. Lopez is about third on that list of running backs.
Lopez is the lone running back behind Blaine Cleaver. Lopez again gets the call at the right side, running hard, hit and dropped as he gets inside the 20, down to about the 18-yard line. Pretty good first down carry, 4 more yards, 2nd and 6.
Yeah, Drake Mankey coming from his inside linebacker position. I think they like Lopez's ability to cut back against the grain. Took it off right tackle, but planted and broke inside for the yardage he was able to earn.
Berwick on the march, trying to add to a 7-3 lead. 3:48 remaining in the opening half. Again, Lopez the lone running back, but now those 2 blocking backs to the left. We saw a lot of this last week, and Lopez will get it and follow those backs, and he has some running room to the 16, maybe the 15-yard line.
Committing to power football. Ran behind the 2 stacked backs. Eric Montez, I believe, is one. We'll check the number on the other. Stacked sort of in the tight end tackle gap and the tackle guard gap. So you really have manpower and blocking there.
3rd down and 4. Berwick at the 16-yard line of the Millionaires. It's Dallas Schechterly and Eric Montez, those blocking backs to the left. Lopez deep in the backfield as the lone running back. Cleaver under center. Gives to Lopez, tries the right side, cuts it inside the 10, running hard inside the 5, into the end zone for the touchdown. Lopez with 2nd and 3rd efforts gets in from 16 yards out.
What a beautiful run. He followed the blocking off the right side. That got him through the line of scrimmage to linebacker level. Cut against the grain as he's wants to do. But then he kept on going, put on another move, put another move. He's being hit about the 3, and he just refused to be stopped. Drug a man pretty much into the end zone with him. Great motivation there to finish the run by Alejandro Lopez.
Brendan Hinkle will attempt the extra point. 9 for 11 so far this season. His kick is up, and the sophomore's kick is through. Time on the field. 2:53 to go opening half. Berwick 14, Williamsport 3. You're listening to Berwick Football on Sports Radio HLM.
Northeast Pennsylvania, it's your home. And no matter what stage of life you find yourself in, what you rely on most is security. When that house becomes a home, the moment you get that new car, when your dreams become a reality, it's times like this when you have to look to the experts for advice and financial peace of mind. They're there with innovative products and services to help you with your financial future every step of the way. Together, they will help dreams and goals become reality. They are more than a bank. They're your neighbor. They are First Keystone Community Bank, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football.
WHLM Williamsport, WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
Senior Alejandro Lopez with a terrific effort from 13 yards out, running over tacklers at the end, has extended Berwick's lead to 14-3 following the Brendan Hinkle extra point, as Eric Montez will kick it off for the Bulldogs. Keith Freeman, who had the long run back in his last opportunity, 51 yards, is back there, but the kick comes up short by design, and Williamsport able to get on it at the 42-yard line. Somewhat of an onside kick by the Bulldogs, but it's recovered by Mankey, and Williamsport takes over. They have 2 timeouts left. They have 2:52 to go in the half. They trail Berwick 14-3.
Yeah, I don't argue with not kicking deep with under 3 minutes to go, but I might have squibbed it 20 or 30 yards and then have them fall on it there and make the stop. Or try a more deliberate, let's try to recover this one onside kick. That one really didn't have a shot.
1st and 10 for the Millionaires at their own 43. Slot to the left. Wide receiver. waits the shotgun snap. Jefferson goes in motion now to the left. Reese fires on the middle, has the big tight end, Nasir Jones, and a short tackle on him at the 49-yard line by Blaine Cleaver. They mark it at the 50, 7 yards on the reception. 3rd down and 3, Williamsport at midfield.
He's a wonderful target. The thing is now they have to get the 3 yards to continue the drive. If they come up short, and it's been pretty much all passively for Williamsport, will they go for it from midfield at this point with about 2 minutes to go?
Freeman deep in the backfield. Grease under center. Gives to Freeman. Tries the left side and is buried. He'll struggle to get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
Yeah, Berwick had the penetration. Linebackers came. He might have bounced off the first man, but then a swarm swallows him from there. 4th and 4. What's the decision? Changes of personnel. I'd expect a punt.
Boy, a big defensive play by Berwick.
Yeah.
They stack up Freeman for a loss of a yard. And it's 4th and 4, and Grease will back up in punt formation. Blake Maurer and Tegan Wilk deep for Berwick. Williamsport would like to use as much clock as they can here. It's 1:29 and counting. Berwick with their full complement of timeouts left. Now Williamsport will use a timeout. 1:26 to go in the half, 14-3. Bulldogs, you're listening to Berwick Football on Sports Radio HLM.
Yannick Real Estate is your full-service real estate agency. Buying, selling, residential, commercial, multifamily, land, and rental management. Call Yannick Real Estate. Owner Mike Yannick, a veteran himself, served his country and has been serving this area for decades. Mike and his staff will guide you through the real estate process. Veterans, be sure to check the VA loan options. Yannick Real Estate, your full-service real estate agency. 1232 West Front Street in Berwick. Call 759-3300.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football.
WHLM Williamsport, WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
Williamsport following their timeout. 4th and 4 at their own 49. In punt formation. Dallas Grease back at the Millionaires' 35-yard line. Awaiting the snap. It's a little bit high, but he's going to throw the football down the far sideline, and the ball is incomplete. Tegan Wilk almost had the interception. Feels he should have at the 25-yard line. So Williamsport went deep. Now the price they might have to pay is Berwick takes over at their 49-yard line with 1:20 to go, and the Bulldogs with 3 timeouts remaining.
Yeah, I was about to shout out, Berwick better be aware of the potential for the fake. The reason is the time on the clock. 1 minute and 20 seconds. Berwick doesn't have the time to just drive it down on the ground, which has been their most effective type of plays. They have 4 completes, but one was for negative yardage, and none of them over 10 yards. And they're with their number 2 quarterback with Blaine Cleaver right now, although he's a competent passer.
Cleaver under center. 3 receivers to the left. Lopez is the low running back. Cleaver back to throw. Looks to the sideline, has a completion to Parada, has a chance to get out of bounds, and does so at the Williamsport 42-yard line. So they pick up 7, stop the clock, 1:12 remaining in the half.
Very nice. He wanted to get it and throw it quickly. Saw whatever the first read was going to be covered, so he bounced it outside, comfortable throwing as he rolls to the left, finds Parada, who puts on a nice spin move, and then has the wherewithal to get himself to the sideline.
Blaine Cleaver at the quarterback controls. We saw Ryan Lawbaugh injured earlier. Slot to the right side. Wide receiver left, Tegan Wilk. Dumping the pass off to Lopez, I should say. Lopez inside the 40, down to the 39, picks up the first down. Again, good effort by him because Williamsport defended it very, very well. They mark it at the 40. They're going to bring them up short of the first down. 3rd down, less than a yard, and Berwick will use a timeout with 52 seconds to go. They have 1 timeout remaining. We'll take one as well. You're listening to Berwick Football on Sports Radio HLM.
Choose with confidence the medicine shop
At the Medicine Shop Pharmacy located at the corner of 9th and Pine Streets in Berwick, caring goes beyond the prescriptions. Discover the one-on-one customer service and dedication that makes caring part of the culture at the Medicine Shop in Berwick. Stock up on everything you need to keep you and your family healthy all year long. The Medicine Shop Pharmacy, located on the corner of 9th and Pine Streets in Berwick, where caring goes beyond the prescriptions.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football.
WHLM Williamsport, WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
Berwick with 2 timeouts remaining. 52 seconds remaining in the half. 3rd down and 1 at the Williamsport 40. Bulldogs lead 14-3. Blaine Cleaver out of the shotgun. Has the snap. Back to throw. Rolling right. Has to throw it away. Nasir Jones in his face. So Cleaver just threw it towards Sean Sheptock, but really pretty much a throwaway. So now it's a tricky situation for Berwick. 4th and 1. 46.9 seconds remaining in this half.
I don't think you punt it. I mean, there's always risks with a bad snap or a block or a return anyway. You need a yard.
Yeah, with the 2 timeouts, you could afford to run this one and pick up the first down, then either call the timeout or get quickly to the line of scrimmage. Blake Mauer's the lone running back, but it's Cleaver on the keeper, and he spins to the 35-yard line. Picks up 5 on the quarterback keeper, and a Berwick first down with 43 seconds remaining in the half.
And they should get the play off very quickly. Momentary stoppage? No. Clock is running.
Cleaver out of the shotgun. Slot to the left. Tegan Wilk wide to the right. Cleaver has the snap. Fakes handoff, keeps the football himself, and is dragged down at the 33-yard line. He'll pick up just a couple, and now Berwick will use a timeout. And we'll keep it here with 27 seconds to go in the half. And the Bulldogs with 1 timeout remaining, leading the score 14-3.
Cleaver wanted to run with deliberation behind the blockers. When that broke down, he headed towards the sideline. But Jefferson following him from behind had a little bit more foot speed. I don't know if Cleaver should have had a little bit more urgency to try to preserve that timeout. At this point, they'll probably be trying to get the ball to the end zone. 27 seconds left.
Well, still 1 timeout remaining.
Yeah.
So they can. They don't have to go for all of it here, as they have it at the Williamsport 33-yard line. We saw Blaine Cleaver last week at Pittston area, threw for a touchdown pass, ran for 1, slot to the right side. The speedster Sean Sheptock wide to the right. Tegan Wilk wide to the left. Mauer to the left of Cleaver, who takes the snap, and he's back to throw. Big pass rush, gets the pass away. Diving attempt incomplete. And again, Nasir Jones was in on Blaine Cleaver.
Yeah, I was just about to say, you're going to have a tough time rolling to the right with Nasir Jones there.
There is a flag down in the play. So we'll check with the referee, Chuck Suppan. It's against Berwick.
Push and pass interference, maybe in order to separate the defender from the man attempting to get the screen.
Well, this would be a big penalty against the Bulldogs, as Ryan Lawbaugh is back in there. Well, a huge penalty. 15 yards. Back to the 48-yard line. Bring up 2nd down and 23. Just 21 seconds remaining in this half. Again, Berwick with 1 timeout remaining. Ryan Lawbaugh awaits the shotgun snap. He has it. He's throw. He's going to run with it. He's stripped of the football. It's loose. The scramble is on, and Williamsport recovers the ball at the Berwick 49-yard line. Tavon Jefferson on the recovery.
His second recovery of a Berwick fumble in this game. We're seeing the dominance of that defensive end, Nasir Jones, who had 19 sacks last year. Berwick struggling to try to handle him one-on-one. They might need to give some help to whoever has that assignment. He's been blowing up these pass plays in this last series, and he was doing it again there.
So Williamsport with the football at the Berwick 49-yard line, 14.3 seconds to go. Slot to the left. Vizanti wide to the right. Grease has the snap. Rolls to his left. He's in trouble. He's going to be sacked by Eric Montez back at the 41-yard line. Montez makes the big defensive play on what will be the final play of this first half. With the score, Berwick 14, Williamsport 3. You're listening to Bulldogs Football and Sports Radio HLM.
When you need the services of a professional law firm, you need the law offices of Lutz & Petty at 916 West Front Street in Berwick. Lutz & Petty is your hometown choice for elder law and asset protection, criminal law, estate planning, real estate, and personal injury. The full-service legal team of Lutz & Petty takes this opportunity to wish the Berwick Bulldogs a successful and injury-free season. Call them at 570-218-4888. The law offices of Lutz & Petty, protecting you. Go Dogs!
Summer is winding down, but Alexander Family Buick GMC in Bloomsburg has no intentions of slowing down. Right now, get 22% off MSRP on select GMC Sierras in stock. Get 20% off on select Buicks and 0% APR on select Buicks and GMCs. And of course, get the Blaze Alexander lowest price guaranteed. Check us out at AlexanderFamilyBuickGMC.com or stop and shop in Bloomsburg. Alexander Family Buick GMC. We're taking the deals the other guys won't.
Berwick Bulldog Football, HLM.
Riverview Block of Berwick, with over 75 years of service, can handle all your block and concrete needs. They carry all sizes of concrete block, including decorative EP Henry landscaping block. Their concrete is PennDOT approved and delivered with front discharge trucks. Riverview Block also carries masonry supplies, tools, cement, sand, and stone. For prompt delivery, call Riverview Block, 570-752-7191. Riverview Block is proud to support the Berwick Bulldogs.
How does free and easy checking with no baggage sound? Well, there is a little baggage. The free rolling duffel bag you get when you sign up for free and easy checking with First Columbia Bank. Not only will you get a checking account with no monthly fees and free online and mobile banking, First Columbia will also buy back your unused checks and debit cards from your old bank. Plus, for a limited time, you will receive a free Travelers Club rolling duffel bag when you open a checking account or refer a friend to us. First Columbia Bank, with you every step of the way. Restrictions and data rates may apply.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs Football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog Football,
WHLM Williamsport, WBWX Berwick,
HLM.
Halftime from Crispin Field, the Bulldogs home opener, and Berwick leading Williamsport at the break 14-3. Berwick on their second possession went from midfield to the Williamsport 15-yard line, but after a loss back to the 21, Bulldogs facing 4th and 11, set up a good pass play. Tegan Wilk was open, but the pass just overthrown. Berwick finally got on the board very late in the first quarter on a terrific play. His quarterback Ryan Lawball handed to Anthony Barata. He, in turn, handed to Tegan Wilk, who came down this near sideline and outraced the secondary 65 yards for the touchdown. Brandon Hinkle with the extra point. That came with just 14 seconds to go in the opening quarter. Quarter ended with Berwick leading 7-0. Ensuing kickoff, a 51-yard return by sophomore Keith Freeman of Williamsport. Set them up. They went on a 9-play drive. Jonathan Kramer kicked a 32-yard field goal with 8:51 to go in the second. Berwick's lead was cut to 7-3. Bulldogs looked like they might answer. They got a 31-yard run from Aiden Mason. Got him into Williamsport territory. Then Mason on another run. This time he fumbled the football, and Tavon Jefferson made the first of 2 recoveries for him in the opening half, stopping the Berwick threat. But the Berwick defense was up to the task, forced a punt from Williamsport, a short punt. Bulldogs took over on the 34-yard line, drove it to the 13, and from there, senior Alejandro Lopez, with the blocking backs to the left, actually ran to the right, found some room, then cut it left, and broke some tackles into the end zone. A real attitude run by him. Brandon Hinkle followed his touchdown run with an extra point kick. Berwick led 14-3. Bulldogs had one more opportunity in that half. Williamsport gambled on a 4th down from their own 49-yard line. A long pass went incomplete. Bulldogs took over the football, got it as close as the 33-yard line, but an offensive pass interference put him back. And then Ryan Lawball's fumble was recovered by Tavon Jefferson. And that's how the half ends, with Berwick leading Williamsport by a score of 14-3. Ben Wills will bring us updated on the high school football scoreboard. Andy Lickney will fill us in with the first half stats. Stay with us. You're listening to Berwick Football on Sports Radio HLM.
Where do you go when your vehicle needs service? Who do you trust when it comes to keeping your vehicle performing at its best? Ken Pollock Ford, your neighborhood service center. Stop in, relax, catch up with old friends, and get the works for $29.95. Our certified techs will change your oil, rotate your tires, perform a vehicle checkup, and top off all your fluids. That's everyday low pricing. Don't worry about the emblem on the hood. The works is valid on any make and any model. That's service at Ken Pollock Ford. Schedule online at kenpollockford.com or stop in and see us. Route 11 Berwick.
Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas of Berwick, are your roofing experts for Luzerne, Columbia, and Montour counties. With 26 years of experience and great rates, why go anywhere else when Red's Roofing will get the job done right for your decks, siding, or roofing, specializing in metal and rubber shingles. Most roofing work is done in one day. So remember the name, Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas. Call Red's Roofing, 752-4351. Owner Harry Titus, a proud supporter of the Berwick football team.
Berwick Bulldog Football, HLM.
Are you looking to meet an elder care need? Do you or a loved one need assistance with any of the instrumental or basic activities of daily living? Brookdale Senior Living has a solution. Brookdale Bloomsburg, located at 420 Schaefer Road, is a premium personal care home offering a family atmosphere along with round-the-clock nursing care. Call 570-387-6868 to learn more. Better yet, we invite you to drop in and meet the Brookdale family and learn how we can offer an optimum aging experience for you or a loved one.
Welsh's Towing and Repair proudly supports the Berwick Bulldogs and wishes them a successful year. Welsh's Towing and Repair has a long tradition of helping. You can call Welsh's 24/7 at 759-9737 if you are in need of a tow, jump start, tire change, are locked out, or to request them on scene if you're in an accident. Welsh's accepts all major insurance and motor clubs, and they offer all types of preventive maintenance and state inspections for cars, trucks, and motorcycles. Welsh's Towing and Repair, South Mercer Street in Berwick, and at their South Center Storage Facility, Columbia Boulevard in Berwick.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog Football,
WHLM Williamsport, WBWX Berwick,
HLM.
Crowded Crispin Field here for this home opener for the Bulldogs. Being entertained by the Williamsport Area Marching Band. Berwick leads at the break 14-3. For an update on other high school football scores on this weekend number 3 of the 2019 season, let's go back to the studios at WHLM and Ben Willis.
Thank you very much, Jim. Right now, late in the second quarter, Southern Columbia is leading Selinsgrove in our HLM game of the week, 42-0. In other games going on, second quarter, Danville leads Warrior Run 14-6. Bloomsburg leads North Penn Mansfield 21-6 in the second. At halftime, Central Columbia leads Lehighton 19-0. All these are second quarter scores. Nativity leads Columbia Montour Votech 29-0. Dallas leads Hazleton 13-0. Loyalsock leads Shikellamy 13-6. Pittston leads Tunkhannock 20-7. Wilkes-Barre area leads Nanticoke 28-0. Mount Carmel leads Lewisburg 15-3. Wyoming area leads Northwest 6-3. Central Mountain leads Shamokin 7-0. And Crestwood leads Wyoming Valley West 13-0 in the second. Back to you, Jim.
Okay, thank you very much, Ben. Right here, Crispin Field, it's Berwick 14 and Williamsport 3. Stats from the opening half, Andy Ligney.
Overwhelmingly in favor of Berwick, Jim. I didn't think it would be this lopsided. Seems to be a relatively even matchup when you watch it go up and down the field. But Berwick has 234 yards of total offense, and they've held Williamsport to 8 net yards. Just 8 net yards. The running game's in the negatives, -14 on 15 plays. They had 25 positive yards running the ball, but 39 negative yards. Keith Freeman, who came into the game averaging 148 yards a carry, Berwick has held him on 6 carries to -9 yards, pushing him back. Drake Mankey's had more success. He has 14 yards on 3 carries. Edward Jefferson carried 1, snuffed at the line of scrimmage, no yards there. Cameron Sims, very quick player, looked very strong on a little end around. 7 yards on that, could have gotten more, but really hit on that play by Wilkes. And then Ian Welshaus came in, plays defensive line, but they needed the short yardage situation. He earned 4 for his team. And then it's the quarterback, Dallas Grease. One snap came down low when he lost 4 yards, and then 2 snaps by Berwick on him, and he has a net of -26 on his 3 carries. So a total of minus 39 with a positive 25 comes out to minus 14 yards in the running game for Williamsport. One of my keys was the team that runs better should win the game, and Berwick certainly has the edge. They have 20 rushes for 187 yards compared to minus 14 for Williamsport. They've added 47 yards in the air with the passing game for 234. Passing the ball, Berwick on the half is 4 of 9 for the 47 yards. Ryan Lawbaugh I have with 2 of the passes in 5 attempts. And I have Blaine Cleaver with 2 completes in 4 attempts. Cleaver's were rather short. He hit Alejandro Lopez for a 4-yarder, and he hit Tegan Wilk, and that was brought down, I believe, just for a yard. The passes completed by Ryan Lawbaugh. One was to Blake Maurer. That went for 35 yards. Very pretty play. And the other one, Antonio Barata caught and took it for 7 yards. So 47 yards in the passing game as the 2 quarterbacks combined for 4 completes in 9 attempts. On the ground, a lot of different runners. Aiden Mason had 4 carries for 42 yards. And then after a fumble, we didn't see him return. We'll keep an eye on him, whether there was an injury or whether they want him to hold the ball a little better. Blake Maurer tried a couple carries, minus 2 yards for him. Eric Montez pushing up the middle, 1 yard on 1 carry. Tegan Wilk has the big one, though. 2 carries, 67 yards, big, long touchdown run on a 2 handoff, the double reverse. Williamsport pursuing very, very strongly on any actions to the perimeter. Followed the ball, and then the ball came back the other way on the double reverse, and they just could not match Tegan Wilk's speed. In all, 67 yards on 2 carries. Alejandro Lopez came in after the injury to Ryan Lawbaugh, and he did very, very well. 4 carries, 25 yards, and a beautiful touchdown run. Great effort to get it into the end zone. And then it is the quarterbacks. Blaine Cleaver ran once for 5 yards. Ryan Lawbaugh running very effectively on the counter actions. He fakes well and then takes it the other way. In the first half, 6 carries for 48 yards. He did return to quarterback at the very end of the half. He got shook up and had to sit out for part of a series. We'll see how he does in the second half. But that weapon, those particular plays, and his talents have been the thing that has kind of kept Berwick alive in the running game. His runs off of quarterback counters for 48 yards. So 187 on the ground for Berwick, 47 in the air, 234 in total offense. Compare it to Williamsport's total of 8 yards net. And you would think you'd have a bigger score, but it's a game.
Yeah, if I'm Berwick, the only thing I'm concerned about is the fact that we're dominating the stats, and you look on the scoreboard, 14-3, the game is definitely not over.
No, it's not, and plus they're getting a few people shaken up. We don't know the condition of Aiden Mason. We haven't seen since that fumble. We're not sure where Ryan Lawbaugh is. He is convinced he can get back in. He's the first man to lead the team here onto the sideline. We'll just see how it all plays out, but it's been a physical game.
It has, and Williamsport's defense is good, and yet Berwick's gashed them for a lot of rushing yardage in this half. They're quick to the ball, but Berwick's been dominating. 187 yards rushing at the half seems like it should be more than a 14-3 lead.
It's almost where they're too quick to the ball, Jim. They're too quick in their pursuit on first movement. Quarterback counters have burned them. The double reverse has burned them.
Halftime, Berwick 14, Williamsport 3. We'll be back with the second half kickoff. You're listening to Berwick Football and Sports Radio HLM.
Somebody needs you. Make a difference in someone's life. Caregivers America is presently hiring direct care workers for their Berwick office location. Caregivers America offers next-day pay, direct deposit, paid time off, and paid training. Create your own schedule. Clients close to home. Go to caregiversamerica.com or call the Berwick office, 570-759-7757. Caregivers America.
It won't be long before tax time rolls around, so remember to visit Michael Daddio CPA at ND Accounting and Consulting for your income tax needs. ND Accounting and Consulting handles both business and individual taxes, as well as offering a variety of accounting services, including payroll, auditing, and bookkeeping. For tax and accounting services, look for Michael Daddio CPA at ND Accounting and Consulting with 2 locations, 214 Pine Street in Berwick and 5929 Main Road in Sweet Valley.
Berwick Bulldog Football, HLM.
Summer is winding down, but Alexander Family Buick GMC in Bloomsburg has no intentions of slowing down. Right now, get 22% off MSRP on select GMC Sierras in stock. Get 20% off on select Buicks and 0% APR on select Buicks and GMCs. And of course, get the Blaze Alexander lowest price guaranteed. Check us out at AlexanderFamilyBuickGMC.com or stop and shop in Bloomsburg. Alexander Family Buick GMC. We're taking the deals the other guys won't.
Whether it's the heat of the preseason or the heart of the postseason, teams will always get a little boost from playing at home. Speaking of a boost at home, State Farm can boost your savings when you combine your homeowner's insurance with your auto coverage. So score one for the home team. Talk to State Farm agents Lori Powell or Sean Black in Berwick, or Melissa Price in Nescapec about big savings for combining home and car coverage. Give State Farm agents Melissa Price, Sean Black, or Lori Powell a call today.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog Football,
WHLM Williamsport, WBWX Berwick,
HLM.
A couple of minutes away from the kickoff to start the second half here at Crispin Field with Berwick leading Williamsport by a score of 14-3. Andy, we spent a lot of our pregame talking about the option, but there was very little option run by Williamsport in that opening half.
And I'll tell you why, Jim. Berwick's penetration has been so strong that they don't have time to run the option. They want to run it from shotgun. So you have a quarterback 5 yards deep, and you have a tailback behind him who needs to maintain pitch relationship. He's not going to start going parallel the line of scrimmage. He's doing it from 5 yards deep and trying to approach. Berwick is shooting those seams, and they're on him at 5 yards. He pitches. Now the ball's 7 yards deep, and Berwick's on that. So, no, Berwick's been blowing up that option. They've played their areas of responsibility. They put some hard hits on the quarterback. Gets a young quarterback at that who hasn't had that much playing time, just a sophomore. They need him as a punter. They like to see him on defense a lot. So I think they scrapped the option in this game, and they've gone with a lot more passing than I thought. You know, they had a dangerous running back, as we mentioned, in Keith Freeman, who's averaging 148 yards a game. But here at halftime, he's at -9. So, yeah, the running game's not there. I don't know if you give up on it that quickly. I think at halftime you try to resurrect some part of it. But we've been seeing mostly the passing attempts out of Williamsport.
Berwick will get the football to start the second half. Bulldogs leading at 14-3 in 2 running touchdowns. First was really a thing of beauty set up by the Bulldogs. Something we haven't seen yet this season, a double handoff. First, Ryan Lawbaugh handing it to Anthony Barata. He, in turn, giving it to Tegan Wilk. And Wilk showing great speed down this near sideline for a 65-yard touchdown run. And then an attitude run by Alejandro Lopez, 13 yards. We talked about that big wing is what George Curry used to call it, 2 big backs behind the line of scrimmage. Well, there's 2 ways you can go about that. First of all, they almost have to overplay with those 2 linemen there. And then if you go to the other side, you've got some room. That's what Lopez did.
Yeah, I think by design, it was meant to look like, hey, we're going to come left. Here's all our power. We're stacked up. And he took it that side of the quarterback. But design went behind the right guard, found the seam, and then cut against the grain. He does beautiful cutbacks.
Aiden Mason, Tegan Wilk, Blake Bauer deep for the Bulldogs. We'll be moving from our right to our left. Kramer's kick puts this one underway, and the kick will be fielded by Mason back at the 6-yard line to the 10, to the 15, to the 20, to the 30, and dragged down, actually short of the 30-yard line. Good coverage on the part of the Millionaires, and Berwick will put it in play for their first possession of this second half.
Trayvon Eisenworth coming over. Long way from the left hash all the way over to the right hash after he closed down his lane of responsibility.
Berwick 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line. Bulldogs trying to improve to 3-0 on the season. Arch rivals Wyoming Valley West will be here next Friday night. Anthony Cisco is the tight end on the left side, and there's those power backs to the left. As Lawball under center, and Lopez gets the call, skirts by one man over the 30 to the 35, the 40, great cut to the 45, out near midfield. Alejandro Lopez with a terrific run.
He got off the side to the left, turned the corner, then weaved in right, weaved back left, turned it back on inside. Exciting speed and making quick cuts. Beautiful run. 23 yards on the carry by Alejandro Lopez. 1st and 10, Berwick at their 49-yard line. Give him 48 on the game now as he's the singleton back still.
Blocking backs are to the right. Ryan Lawball under center. Gives to Lopez. Looking for room, not much there. Tries the left side, gets over midfield, and not much more. And there'll be 15 yards against Williamsport. Real bad decision. Back and forth, pushing match, and then Ed Jefferson comes up with almost a swing right in front of the official. 15 yards against the Millionaires.
Yeah, held them to about a 2-yard gain after all their success running a counter trade play. But I've been mentioning Williamsport's been a little chippy. You know, there's one thing to be aggressive. There's one thing to dominate physically. Yeah, but there's a point where you take it too far, and that's very obvious that you're taking it too far there. You're not going to intimidate a player. If anything, that player comes back with a vengeance if you take a cheap shot at him.
1st and 10, Berwick. They have it at the Millionaires' 33-yard line. Great opportunity to add to a 14-3 lead here early in the third quarter. Sean Sheptock lines up as a tight end on the right side. Cisco to the left. In power formation, the power backs are to the left. Lopez gets the call, follows the left, and Williamsport closes quickly after a gain of a couple, maybe just one, to the 32-yard line.
Nasir Jones was backside. They figured they didn't need to block him. He's far enough away if we run over left guard. Not true. Nasir Jones is a player. He came down that line flat, got a piece of Alejandro Lopez to keep it to a very short gain, if any.
2nd down and 9. Bulldogs at the Millionaire 32-yard line. Again, the power backs, Dallas Schechterly and Eric Montez to the left. Lopez, fake to him. Lawball keeps it, gets outside right, inside the 30, to the 25, and ridden out of bounds and pushed out of bounds. 15 more yards coming as he gets to the 19-yard line. A pickup of 13 on the play, but penalty yardage to be added on.
It was a wonderful fake inside. I mentioned Nasir Jones, and he bit down inside. Overly aggressive. That's one way you call this Williamsport defense. Bit on that. He pulled it out and continued around that side. Easily got to the perimeter, had a soft corner, extended it for 10 yards or so, and then pushed on the sideline into this fence that now surrounds the field. And yardage for Berwick.
13 yards on the carry by Ryan Lawball. Penalty tacked on. Berwick 1st and goal at the Williamsport 10-yard line. We're early in the third quarter, and the Bulldogs trying to add to a 14-3 lead. Blocking backs to the right. Lopez deep in the backfield. Ryan Lawball under center. From the 10, Lopez the call. Inside the 10, picks up a couple to about the 8-yard line.
I mentioned Nasir Jones. He pursues very, very well. Carmen DiFrancesco said in his show with you, Jim, sometimes the thing you do is you run at him. Those power backs double-teamed him and moved him off the ball, creating a nice inside seam there for Lopez.
2nd down and goal. Berwick at the Williamsport 8-yard line. Double tight end. Big blocking backs to the right. Lopez goes to the left. Breaks a tackle inside the 5-yard line where he's tripped up from behind. Boy, Lopez just electric in this game carrying the football.
Yes, he is. He exploded in the seam, then stopped and broke it out to the left a little bit more. Just couldn't quite get any further as they drag him down.
But a chop block coming against Berwick. So the penalty will bring him back with 9:22 remaining in his third quarter. So instead of a 3rd and goal at the 5, it's going to be a 2nd down, but wait and see where Berwick ends up with the football. It's going to be a 2nd down and goal, but it's coming all the way back to the 25-yard line.
That's big. Now you hope you can get close enough to at least attempt a field goal. Yeah, you can't get the first down. Got to get to that goal line or get it in close enough to try for the kick.
So 2 big penalties against Williamsport on this possession. 1 big one on Berwick, and the Bulldogs 2nd and goal at the Williamsport 25 as they spread it out now. Slot to the right, and Tegan Wilk wide to the left. Here comes a man in motion fake to him. Lawbaugh keeps the football, stood up, gets what he can to the 21, maybe the 20-yard line.
Edward Jefferson stayed home and kind of kept an eye spying on that quarterback, and he squared up nicely to keep that run from getting much further.
4 yards on the carry. 3rd and goal, Berwick at the Williamsport 21.
Ryan Lawbaugh has had success with that zone read play, faking the run going outside, pulling it and taking it up the middle. That time Jefferson keeping a good eye on him.
Lawbaugh out of the gun. Blake Mowers in there to his left. Lawbaugh has the snap, fires over the middle, a diving attempt inside the 15-yard line. And
Wilk
are they giving the catch to Tegan Wilk? They are. It's at the 13-yard line, so a pickup of 8 on the play. 4th and goal, Berwick at the Williamsport 13.
Yeah, Wilk had to go very low on a dive. Other men in the area, and no one really hustling to make the call. Was it caught or not? Wilk kind of looked around because he had to scoop it up off the ground. No one, declined it. No one knocked it away.
Here we go. 4th and goal, Berwick at the 13. Bulldogs going for it. They wanted the double handoff again, but this time Williamsport is all over it as they bring down Barada for a loss at the 20-yard line. Berwick was going to run the play that resulted in a touchdown earlier, the double handoff, but as soon as Barada got it, he had no chance to hand it off to anyone else as Avery Campbell, a 6'2", 195-pound sophomore defensive end, makes the play. It's a loss of 7. Williamsport takes over at their 20-yard line with 7:43 to go in the third, and Berwick's lead stays at 14-3.
And Barada didn't want to risk trying to hand it to Wilkes as he's being grabbed around the waist by Campbell.
Freeman is the lone running back. He gets the call, has some running room, and gets over the 25 to the 26. Whistles blow it dead. Players still churning is Freeman, and still hitting is Zalutko. They'll mark it at the 27. That's a nice first down carry. 2nd down 3 for the Millionaires.
And Keith Freeman's been a big part of their success in their first 2 wins. They want to get him going, so I do like the first down play call where he burst for 7 yards.
Nasir Jones is the tight end on the right side, out of the pistol. Freeman behind quarterback Dallas Grease. Freeman, the call again, looking for room. This time, not much doing. He meets the wall of blue jerseys right about the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they squeezed the B gap on the left side closed, and then Tegan Wilk comes rushing up almost like a linebacker from free safety and pushes the whole pile back with a violent hit. So no gain at all.
3rd down and 3. Millionaires at their own 27-yard line. They trail Berwick 14-3. 6:35 remaining third quarter. Drake Mankey now is the running back to the right of Grease. He's got a slot to the left, wide receiver right. Grease has the snap, back to throw, huge pass rush, rolling right, fires downfield, incomplete. Intended for Mazzani. Great coverage by Sean Shepdock. A good defensive stand for the Bulldogs as Williamsport with a punt team on.
Yeah, Mason Lawbaugh really disrupted the play. broke through into the backfield, flushed the quarterback, and then chased him for his life toward the sideline, forcing the errant throw.
Blake Maurer and Tegan Wilk deep anticipating the punt from Dallas Grease. Dave Splain will do the long snapping. Grease back at his 12-yard line. Flag down the play. Booming kick. Maurer will let it bounce. Takes a great roll and goes all the way to the Berwick 27, but check the flag.
Jim, they've been bringing the man in motion, the headhunter from the left all the way over to the right, and I commented how I really like the idea. But as he comes up, he comes forward toward the line of scrimmage, not waiting for the snap, and I saw it before and thought there should have been a flag. I would anticipate this being, an illegal motion against Williamsport as that flanker who motions as a headhunter to get the free run down the near side heads upfield a moment too soon. This time he's flagged for it.
So the penalty will bring it back to the 22-yard line. That negates a terrific punt by Dallas Grease. So he'll try it again. Berwick figures to get much better field position this time. Splain about to snap it to Grease, who's standing back at the Williamsport 7-yard line.
Snaps have been a little high.
And that one is as well. But Berwick not coming hard. It's a low-line drive kick. Maurer fields it in traffic at the 45 and gets up to midfield. So Berwick, a lot better field position. Taking over at the 50 with 5:45 remaining in the third quarter. And Berwick leading at 14-3.
They've been successful driving the ball, but the big chop block penalty took them out of scoring range earlier on their first drive of the half. They've been relying on the strong running behind the power backs by Alejandro Lopez, who has 53 yards on the game now.
Aiden Mason will be the running back now with a slot to the left and a slot to the right. Law ball out of the gun, gives it to Mason. He's got room, runs over a tackler, turns it outside to the 40-yard line. Strong run by Aiden Mason, ran over a would-be tackler.
Yeah, I don't think he was happy on the sidelines as Lopez was getting the totes he'd normally be getting. A little competition in that backfield motivates Aiden Mason, who devastates a potential tackler, knocks him over, and drives beyond the chains.
12 yards on the carry. 1st and 10 Berwick at the Williamsport 38-yard line. Slot to the right, slot to the left. Larbaugh has the shotgun snap, gives the ball to Mason off the left side, has some running room, gets by a tackler, runs over another tackler inside the 30-yard line. Aiden Mason running with an attitude now, and Berwick on the march for the second time in this quarter. Came up without points in their first possession, but still the Bulldogs lead at 14-3. That's a 10-yard run for Mason.
Gives him 64 on the game. Watch Noah Craig on that. And boy, he got down to the second level and really took a linebacker out of the play.
1st and 10 at the 28-yard line. Call off the left side to Mason. This time, not much doing. Williamsport defends it well.
Ian Welsh's coming in low, able to get a hold of that one. Sometime when you're getting blown out, you want to kind of drop on down, get low, root hog a little bit. Make the tackle at the knees instead of fighting people up top.
2nd down and 10. No gain on that play. Berwick at the Williamsport 28-yard line. Slot to the left, slot to the right. Aiden Mason to the left of Ryan Larbaugh, who has the shotgun snap, fakes to Mason, keeps the football, looks for running room, dragged down as he gets to the 26-yard line. Defended pretty well by the Millionaires, just 2 yards on the carry. Got to bring up a 3rd down and 8 for Berwick, probably in 4-down territory as they have it at the Millionaires 26.
Ball on the left hash. You'd like to think of going to the right, but that's the side played by their stud, Nasir Jones, who's had an impact defensively on this game.
Double slot formation again. Law ball out of the gun. Here's a 3rd down and 8 Berwick. Sheptock comes in motion, gets the handoff. The jet sweep flag down on the play, and he's cut down at the 25-yard line. Boy, that is a really good defensive play.
Yes, it was. It was number 33, Edward Jefferson. He's been strong throughout. I watched Mike Zalutko take on Nasir Jones, and he was able to get a hold of, block him rather well to give his team the corner. but other people sifting through made the tackle.
Penalty against Berwick, but it'll probably be declined because it's going to bring up a 4th down and 8. Berwick at the Williamsport 26-yard line.
I believe the signal was for an illegal shift, maybe 2 men in motion at the same time. We've switched hash marks as the play went from the left to the right, so now we're on the right hash. You can run wide side away from Nasir Jones, or you can roll in that direction if you plan to pass. Probably have a little bit more success.
Berwick has both quarterbacks in there right now. They have a 4th down coming up. Blaine Cleaver will play a tight end position to the right. Here's a 4th down and 8 Berwick at the Williamsport 26. Walbaugh fakes handoff, back to throw. Fires it to Cleaver. It's read well by Jones. Cleaver gets it, but he'll lose yards to the 33. Boy, Nasir Jones was all over that play, and it was a dangerous play. Had a chance to step in front of that one.
He's a player, Jim. He saw the play going slightly away, but he saw the sort of minimal blocking attempt, and Blaine Cleaver turn into receiver. Reacted intuitively to that, went with him. He has the height that can match Cleaver's. They both fought for the ball, and it didn't matter which one caught it. Williamsport gets it there because of 4th down, whether it's a complete to Cleaver or an interception by Williamsport's Nasir Jones.
So Berwick frustrated in this 3rd quarter. 2 possessions, 2 drives into Williamsport territory, nothing on the board, but the Bulldogs continue to lead 14-3, 3:30 to go in the 3rd as Freeman gets the call. No, check it.
Quarterback
Grease kept the ball off the left side and picked up some yardage. They're going to mark it at the 38-yard line.
Yeah, they'll give them about 4 on that till they do. Nice fake to the inside with quickness. And then the quarterback pulled it out nicely and broke it to the left, got to the perimeter, and got his 4 yards.
Slot to the left side. Mazzani wide to the right. 2nd down and 6, Millionaires. Give is to Jefferson coming around. He is pile drive down at the 36-yard line. Again, Berwick defensively against the run, just so good.
Yeah, Anthony Sisko's playing the left defensive end, and he got his penetration. Made sure it wasn't going to get wide of him, turned it inside, and then reached in and took the feet out. And then Berwick, with its great pursuit, 3 or 4 other blue jerseys getting on top, snuffing it for no gain.
3rd down and 7. Millionaires at their 37-yard line. Dallas Grease fakes to Jefferson. Gets outside left. It's a run for the 1st down. He won't get anywhere near. He's hit hard around the 40-yard line.
Blaine Cleaver blitzing. Took too sharp of an angle, and the quarterback got outside of him. But fortunately for Berwick, Preston Robbins at corner saw the quarterback committing to run quickly. He came up and very, very short tackle on the sideline after about a 3-yard gain.
4th and 5 for Williamsport, just short of their 40-yard line. Dallas Grease punted a lot this one as Berwick's defense for the 3rd straight week has played the lights out. High snap once again. Berwick not coming hard. Good punt. Over the shoulder grab by Maurer, and he drops the football, picks it up, in trouble, and buried down around the 24-yard line.
It's strange. You have twin safeties back, and they seem to punt between them. And then there seems to be indecision who should get it. Maurer decided I can handle that, and didn't handle it very cleanly. Able to pick it up, not really lose yardage because of the indecision.
Berwick at their own 24-yard line. 1st and 10, 1:46 remaining in this 3rd quarter. No scoring in this quarter. It remains what it was at the half. It is Berwick 14 and Williamsport 3.
They've been using their power game with the big backs. They've been countering off it, cutting back off of it, using the quarterback run for their success. They've moved the ball, but not into the end zone.
Ryan Lawball under center. Backs at an open set for the first time. The call goes off the left side. Aiden Mason gets by one man, but not another. As he'll be brought down right about the line of scrimmage. Williamsport with good quickness on this defense. They don't have the biggest size. They do make it tough.
Yeah, and they play with a ferocity, Jim. They like to hit. They like to get in there. They like to be chippy. I like the defensive attitude. Aiden Mason made a nice spin move to try to get away from that first tackler. Tough to keep his balance on that, but managed to still turn it upfield before more pursuit knocked him.
Loss of a yard. 2nd down and 11. Berwick at their own 23. 3 receivers to the right. Barada wide to the left. Law ball will operate out of the shotgun. Has the snap. Fires a quick hitter to Barada. And Antonio gets out to the 30-yard line, where he is brought down.
His second catch of the game. He's the isolated receiver opposite the trips to the top of the field. Ran a quick little inside slant, got nice position.
Berwick quickly to the line of scrimmage on a 3rd down and 4 as they give straight ahead to Mason, and he's going to be brought down short of the first down yardage.
Might have wanted to be a little bit more deliberate, but they wanted to go up tempo to keep Williamsport from resetting the defense.
Ian Welshins makes the play, and Berwick's not going to risk it. It's 4th and just a yard, but it's in their own territory. The lead is 14-3. Their defense has been playing lights out, and they'll let the 3rd quarter come to an end, so they will have some time to think about this one. 3 in the books here at Crispin Field in the Bulldogs home opener. Berwick 14, Williamsport 3. You're listening to Berwick Football on Sports Radio HLM.
How do you save money when you shop for groceries? If you haven't checked out Surplus Outlet, you're missing out on savings that could go right into your pocket. Hello, this is Justin Michaels, and at Surplus Outlet, we take saving you money very seriously. At Surplus Outlet, you'll find groceries and much more at below wholesale prices. We work hard to buy right and pass those savings directly on to you. At Surplus Outlet, we stock all the items that you would expect at a grocery store, but each week we get new arrivals, and the savings can be tremendous. So you'll want to stop in often.
Surplus Outlet, with locations on Route 11 Northumberland, Route 11 Berwick, and Route 15 Montgomery.
Berwick Bulldog football.
Right now, in the 3rd quarter, Southern Columbia leads Selinsgrove 48-0. Danville leads Warrior Run 21-13, and Bloomsburg leads North Penn Mansfield 28-6. I'm Ben Willis, HLM Sports.
Berwick Bulldog football, HLM.
3 quarters in the books here at Crispin Field in Berwick, home to Berwick football since 1929. It's the home opener for the Bulldogs, trying to improve to 3-0, and they lead Williamsport after 3 by a score of 14-3. Now Berwick has a 4th and 1. They have at their own 33-yard line. They're lining up as if to go for it. Power backs to the right side. Law ball, quarterback, keeper straight ahead. The first down and then some.
Wow.
So Berwick, after thinking it over, having the hole in between the quarters to go over it, decides not to punt the football, keeping it. Great blocking straight ahead for Lawbaugh, who gets to the 38-yard line for a first down.
Nick Heimbach's the man who snaps and steps forward, and they push behind him with the quarterback, Ryan Lawbaugh, and then power backs pushing him, but I don't think he needed it. Quick snap helped them out.
Power backs are to the right side. Aiden Mason deep in the backfield will try the right side. Behind those blockers, he's got room. Over midfield, down the far sideline, 45. Runs over a tackler and gets to the 36-yard line. Aiden Mason showing that rare combination of power and speed. Picks up a big first down for the Bulldogs in Williamsport territory for the 3rd time in the second half.
I think it's his best run of the year. That was beautiful. Hits the hole aggressively, gets through it, makes a quick cut on a linebacker, just makes him lose him, can't stay with him. Finishes the run with a vicious straight arm to the face of the potential tackler. I love that run. 25 yards on the carry. 1st and 10 Berwick at the Williamsport 37. Blocking backs are to the right. Mason will take it to the left. Hit hard as he picks up just a couple to the 35-yard line. 3-yard gain there gives him 93 on the game. After that burst, he needed a little break. He's going to come off the field right now as they'll spell him.
And as we've seen all night long, Alejandro Lopez is not a bad substitute for Aiden Mason.
No, he's not, nor would Blake Maurer be. Of course, you can spell him by running the quarterback. A lot of options Berwick has, a lot of talent.
2nd and 8. Berwick at the Williamsport 35-yard line. Blocking backs to the right. Lopez gets it up the middle. Good running room, spinning to the 25-yard line. Alejandro Pena Another terrific run. And Berwick on the move. Mentioned the Bulldogs have moved the ball well in Williamsport territory for the third time in the second half, but they've not scored in the half. They continue to lead the Millionaires 14-3.
Alejandro Lopez going hard. He gets the ball, and boy, he's at top speed quickly. Wall of blue jerseys in front of him, and he's able just to sort of instinctively make the right cuts to extend the run to its maximum potential.
9 yards on that carry. Schechterly and Montez are the blocking backs to the right. Lopez deep in the backfield, a fake to him. Law ball back to throw. Fires. Nice over-the-shoulder catch by Montez. And forced out of bounds down around the 16-yard line. There was a man right in the face of Lawbaugh. Had to throw it a little bit high, and a nice grab by the tight end, Eric Montez.
Yeah, did it while backpedaling it, so he throws it off while he's on his heels, but he gets it up over that man. Montez in the area, had a catch last year. Here he makes another catch and moves the chains yet again.
11 yards on the reception. Berwick first down at the Williamsport 15-yard line. Lopez, the lone running back, gets the call, looking for room, not much there. Gets to the 13, maybe the 12-yard line.
Again, that big defensive end coming from the backside. Nazir Jones defeated the blocker who just couldn't even slow him down. Came all the way down the backside of the line of scrimmage to make the stop. But Lopez still gets 4 yards on it.
Second down call coming. They're marking at the 12s. We'll call it a second down and 7 for the Bulldogs. Trying to add to their 14-3 lead here with the clock running and 9:10 to go in the game. Blocking backs are to the right. Lopez will run to the left. Quick cut, gets to the 10-yard line. Picks up about 2. Third down call coming.
Got ahead of his blockers that time. They wanted to run counter Trey with the power backs pulling like guards. They're kicking out on the inside, but he quickly took it a little bit wider, thinking he might have been able to get to the corner.
They mark it at the 11, so it's a third down and 6 for Berwick at the Williamsport 11-yard line.
Just about straight on, middle of the field.
So Lutko and Schechterly blocking backs to the left. Lawbaugh fakes handoff, keeps the football. Almost tripped up, keeps it, lowers the shoulder, gets down around the 6-yard line. Great effort. Avery Campbell from his defensive end almost had Lawbaugh for a loss. He was able to get by that attempt and gets it all the way to the 5-yard line where it should be a Berwick first down.
Yeah, they're dropping the chains. It'll be first and goal from the 5. You're right, Avery Campbell should have been able to make that tackle. But we've seen Ryan Lawbaugh able to break tackles over the course of this season, and that run shows it.
Berwick at the 5-yard line of the Millionaires. First down and goal. Lopez, the lone running back, blocking backs to the right. Lopez gets the call. He stood up and has to battle to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Drake Mankey standing in the cutback lane. Might have been better off staying with the blocking, delaying, chugging his feet a little bit, and just following their push. It's a type of runner who likes to put the moves. That time cutting back, I believe, a little too soon. No gain.
Sean Sheptock came off in the play before, favoring his right shoulder, and he's in some pain on the sideline. It's Berwick. Second down and goal at the Williamsport 5-yard line. The blocking backs are to the right. Lopez deep in the backfield is the lone running back. Lawbaugh under center. Gives the ball to Lopez up the middle and nothing doing. Boy, Williamsport stout right there. Third down and goal coming for Berwick.
Yep, they're playing a tough goal line stand, and I don't know if you saw Nasir Jones on that play, Jim. He took the tight end just down to the play, 6 men down further.
Timeout, Bulldogs, 7:23 to go. They lead 14-3. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
A car or truck accident will change your life. You get one phone call to put your life back together. Call your lawyers, Lenahan and Dempsey. They are your car and truck accident lawyers, your personal injury lawyers, your work injury lawyers. Your lawyers at Lenahan and Dempsey have won hundreds of millions of dollars for injured people just like you. Call Lenahan and Dempsey now. Call your lawyers and get help now.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football.
WHLM Williamsport, WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
7:23 remaining in this football game. Berwick leading 14-3, and the Bulldogs can just about put this one away if they can get the end zone here. They face a third down and goal at the Williamsport 6-yard line as they move from our left to our right. Aiden Mason back in there as the running back to the right of Ryan Longbaugh, who operates out of the gun. Has the snap. Rolling right, fires to the end zone, incomplete through the hands of Blaine Cleaver right at the goal line. Now Berwick with a decision. Glorified extra point from here. They could get the field goal and add on to the lead, and it looks like that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, Blaine Cleaver upset with himself. Should have had that nice, easy toss. Standing about 2 yards into the end zone. Somehow it just escapes the mitts.
So Brendan Hinkle, a sophomore, will try for the first field goal of his career. The hold will be at the 14, so Brendan Hinkle straight ahead. Tegan Wilk will do the holding. Snap is a good one. Kick is away, and the kick is good. Time on the field, 7:15 remaining in the game. Berwick, 17. Williamsport, 3. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Advanced Automotive Auto Service Center at 1895 West Front Street in Berwick will take care of any sort of automotive repair, PA state inspections, brakes, and tune-ups. Frank and the guys at Advanced Automotive can also handle custom exhaust, engine and transmission repairs and overhauls. Anything that ails your vehicle, let Advanced Automotive take care of it. 1895 West Front Street in Berwick. Call 570-752-1440. Go Dogs.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football.
WHLM Williamsport, WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
7:15 to go in this one. A 15-play drive by the Bulldogs, capped on a 24-yard field goal by sophomore Brendan Hinkle, the first of his career. 17-3. Berwick, as Eric Montez gets set to kick it off. Impressive to add to the lead, but more importantly, took a lot of time off the clock as the kick comes up short, covered by one of the up men at the 35-yard line.
Ian Welsh's the up man who falls on it. Williamsport's going to have to open it up a little bit. They've shown a willingness to pass, but here since halftime, only one attempted pass. I think they wanted to commit to get their running game going, knowing that's what they need for success throughout the season. They thought to get them back in the game. But now, just a little over 7 minutes to go, I think they might have to take to the air.
Nasir Jones wide to the right. Devin Smith on him. That's a real mismatch in size, as they're going to throw to that side, but it comes up short. Jones tries to make a dive and catch. They're going to give it to him at the 41-yard line. A pickup of 6. Second down and 4 for the Millionaires.
I didn't think he had it either, Jim, but the linesman on that side went to the spot, and they do award the catch.
Second down call coming. Grease out of the gun, low snap. Grease fakes handoff, keeps the football, gets into the secondary, spins for the first down to the Berwick 46-yard line. Nicely done. Good recover by Dallas Grease, the quarterback, after the low snap.
Yeah, and you wonder if he was supposed to hand that off up the middle. The fact is the low snap may not have allowed for it, so a very quick fake and pull. He may have thought, hey, I'm not going to get this off. I'll fumble it there. I'll take it wide, and he had a very nice run.
12 yards in the carry by Dallas Grease at the Berwick 47-yard line. Berwick showing blitz. The referee showing illegal procedure against Williamsport.
Move it back 5 yards, take some of their momentum away. Strange drive, a pass that looks like it bounces into the tight end's hand is awarded. And then what may have been a broken play on a low snap turns into yardage. Now that sort of unique type of drive that was nice for Williamsport, stopped by a 5-yard penalty here.
First and 15. Grease out of the gun. Back to throw, looking long for block. Boyer, and the ball is knocked down incomplete. Preston Robbins, step for step with Moyer. Be a second down and long for the Millionaires. We mentioned Berwick home against Wyoming Valley West next Friday. Williamsport will be home against Hazleton area. They played them twice last year. And during the regular season, had to be one of the great games in high school football history. Williamsport gave up 63 points and won. 64-63. I'm wondering if that's a state record for points by a losing team.
Yeah.
By a losing team. 63. Here's second and long. Grease back to throw. Nice pass. He's got a completion to the 40-yard line, down to the 39-yard line, and flags down on the play. Maybe 15 tacked on. Braden Mizonki made the catch.
Yes, he did. Little slant in pattern. Caught it on the run. Went with it as well. And then the flags after about 10 yards of the game.
Face mask against the Bulldogs. The gain was to the 37, 13 yards on the reception. It's the 15-yard variety tacked on to the Berwick 23-yard line. That's where Williamsport has it with a first and 10. 6:03 to go in the game. They trail 17-3, so still in it if they can get in the end zone. Grease, low snap again, but gets the ball off to Freeman, and Freeman straight ahead will pick up a couple to the 21-yard line.
He wasn't getting those surges earlier in the game. Now, I think Berwick might be playing the linebackers back a little bit more to watch for pass.
And Millionaires picking up the pace as they come right to the line of scrimmage, the Berwick 21-yard line. Grease out of the gun, has the snap. He's looking for the end zone, and it's caught for a touchdown. Deep in the end zone.
Braden Mizonki
with the catch. Mizonki, who made a great catch earlier, catches the touchdown. I think he got away with a push-off.
Yeah, he got away with a very obvious push-off.
Devin Smith was back in coverage. Mizonki pushed him in the back, caught the pass. There is no call. And so a touchdown for the Millionaires, who stay in the game.
He looked back near the pylon, saw where he was, saw where the ball was going to fall, gave a little push and got away with it.
Kramer will attempt the extra point. His kick is up, and his kick is good. Top of the field. 5:29 remaining in the game. Berwick 17, Williamsport 10. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Quality care for your dental health at Berwick Dental Arts, 105 West 9th Street in Berwick. State-of-the-art equipment comes together with a tradition of 45 years of personalized care. From the youngest to the oldest patient, let Berwick Dental Arts doctors and staff take care of every aspect of your dental needs. They'll process all types of insurances. Make your appointment today. Call Berwick Dental Arts friendly staff at 752-4542. Berwick Dental Arts, making smiles beautiful.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football.
WHLM Williamsport, WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
Williamsport goes on a 65-yard scoring drive, capped on a 21-yard touchdown pass. Dallas Grease to Braden Mizonki. Kramer with the extra point. Millionaires are very much in this game. 17-10 is the Berwick lead. 5:29 remaining.
Berwick with the hands team in, Jim, not believing Williamsport's going to kick deep, but rather here with 5.5 minutes to go, try to get the onside kick recovery.
Berwick is certainly ready for it, but Kramer's going to kick it long. Devin Smith on the run, muffs the football at the 15, and then is buried short of the 20-yard line.
Oh, about as bad as you can have it. Only one man back. Looked like it was going to go out of bounds if you let it bounce. Catches it or attempts to catch it 2 yards from the sideline. Drops it, and it goes back into the field of play. His only choice to pick it up and try to move it upfield. Of course, all his blockers were up there anticipating the short kick. So poor field position for Berwick. They're going to have to rise to the challenge.
What they need is a long time-consuming drive like they had last possession, 15 plays. Williamsport does have all 3 timeouts remaining. Berwick on 20-yard line. Their lead down to 7. Loveoff gives it to Aiden Mason. Mason on the first down carry. Over the 20 out to about the 24-yard line. Second down call coming for the Bulldogs. Clock running, 5:12 to go in the game.
We didn't see the power backs, which we saw in that previous drive. Sort of two tight end fullback types stacked behind the line, and they were using either going behind it or countering away from it. Not here in this series.
Second down and 6. Berwick at the 24-yard line. Law ball out of the gun. Mason to his right. Fake to Mason. Law ball keeps the football, and he is stood up and pushed back. Got maybe a yard on the play, and Williamsport fired up right now. They know they're very much in this game, and they will use the timeout. 4:32 to go. 17-10 Berwick. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Reds Roofing, the roofing ninjas of Berwick, are your roofing experts for Luzerne, Columbia, and Montour counties. With 26 years of experience and great rates, why go anywhere else when Reds Roofing will get the job done right for your decks, siding, or roofing, specializing in metal and rubber shingles. Most roofing work is done in one day. So remember the name, Reds Roofing, the roofing ninjas. Call Reds Roofing, 752-4351. Owner Harry Titus, a proud supporter of the Berwick football team.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog football.
WHLM Williamsport, WBWX Berwick.
HLM.
4:32 remaining in the game. We've got ourselves a game. 17-10. Berwick leading Williamsport. And the Bulldogs facing a big 3rd down and 5 at their own 25-yard line.
Right side of the field is away from Nasir Jones. That's an advantage to Berwick if they choose to work that way.
Law ball out of the gun. Has the snap. Back to throw. Looking. Fires. Has a man. Cleaver is brought down right about the sticks. I believe he's got the first down.
Kane was on the 30-yard line, and they're moving it as he puts that ball down on the 32. He actually rolled a little bit toward Nasir Jones, but the blocking held. Went back to the center, found Cleaver in a seam, drilled it to him. Catch and a little bit of a run was all he needed.
Well, that's a big play.
Yes.
And a nice play by Ryan Lawbaugh. They had some pressure on him. Gets the pass away, and that clock begins to run again. We're under 4 minutes to go in the game. Berwick leading Williamsport 17-10. By the way, Tegan Wilk was limping noticeably on the sideline, so Berwick may be without him for this offensive possession. Sean Sheptock shaken up earlier. Here's the give to Aiden Mason off the left side. Breaks into the secondary and gets over the 40. Out to the 42-yard line. Very close to another Berwick first down.
In fact, they will move the chains. You notice how fast Nasir Jones came from the backside end and almost got the play going in the opposite direction. He's a monster, Jim. I think you got to chip him or do something. He's a disruptor. But Berwick hit that very, very quickly. Any delay, and he's caught in the backfield.
Boy, and when Mason gets ahead of steam, he is something to watch. He is the lone running back. The power backs are in there. Blocking backs to the left. Mason deep in the backfield. Fake to him. Keeping it as Lawbaugh wants to stay in bounds, and he's brought down by Cameron Sims for a loss of a yard back to the 42-yard line, but he does stay in bounds. And it will be under 3 minutes to play when Berwick takes the next snap.
Ryan Lawbaugh has rushed for 80 yards on the game. The last carry by Aiden Mason, that explosive run off the left side, gave him the 100-yard game, Jim. I have him with 107 yards.
Loss of 2 on that last play. Second down and 12. Berwick at their 41. Blocking backs, Schechterly and Montez are to the left. A toss sweep to the left for Aiden Mason, looking for room. Gets outside to the 45. Dragged down at the 46-yard line. He'll pick up about 5 on the play, and Williamsport will use their second timeout. We'll keep it here with 2:27 remaining. Following this timeout, Berwick with another big 3rd down call. Got about 7 to go for the first down.
And they'll probably want to try to keep it on the ground or keep the clock going with a short pass. We'll see. You know, Jim, one of the points of emphasis in the rules this year was the no tackling by the nameplate. And that looked like it was that grab the back of the jersey type of pull him down tackle. Either it wasn't seen clearly or, it's not the emphasis of this particular crew. I'm not arguing for the call. I think it's strong football. I don't think there's any danger in it. But when I saw that jersey come back and him being pulled, I thought about that emphasis.
3rd down and 7. Berwick at their own 46-yard line. Millionaires with 1 timeout remaining. Bulldogs cling to a 17-10 lead. 2:27 to go in the game. Blocking backs to the right side. Lawbaugh under center. Rolls out to pass. Fires. Has his man Montez at the 45-yard line. Out of bounds at the 35. Flags down after the play.
It'll be for a late hit on going to Montez. Montez chose to take himself out of bounds. He saw the hit coming. Wanted to make sure he had the first down. He had it easily. Nicely sold by Lawbaugh as he rolled out. They got Montez a blocking back out of the backfield. Little banana route. He had the change. They got it to him. And boy, he turns it up the sideline very hard. Not worried about staying in bounds after they get the chains. He's thrilled with that. We're going to see a personal foul against Berwick.
Yes, and I couldn't see who did it, Andy, but it was a block out of bounds after the play.
Well, if it's after the play, it should still be first down. And it is. They should move the chains.
17 yards on the pass completion to Eric Montez. The penalty, though, will bring it back to midfield, where Berwick will have the first down with 2:20 to go. Beautifully done. Ryan Lawbaugh to Eric Montez. You think Berwick's going to keep it on the ground in that situation, but they go to the air, pick up the first down. The penalty brings it back to midfield. And Ryan Lawbaugh under center. Mason gets the call. Aiden Mason lowers the shoulder, gets to the Williamsport 46-yard line, picks up about 4 on the play. But the clock on the Bulldogs side now. Williamsport with 1 timeout remaining. They won't call it yet, as we're going to go under 2 minutes remaining in the game. And Berwick has moved the ball well all through this second half, but only 3 points on the board to show for it.
Yeah, and they might be fatiguing the Williamsport defense a little bit. When you're hammering and hammering behind those power backs, and with the size of Aiden Mason, who's put on quite a few pounds since last year, big thighs and comes at you hard, it can be fatiguing.
Blocking backs to the left. Second down call. Quarterback keeper by Lawbaugh. Push from behind. Gets some good yardage and the first down inside the 40-yard line.
Big push, and he's a fellow who refuses to go down. He just, keeps his balance, pulls away from jersey tackles. His balance is still there. He's going to keep himself on going. He's approaching the 100-yard game.
9 yards in that carry as they bring it to the 37-yard line of the Millionaires. 1:17 remaining in the game.
This is the way Berwick certainly wants to finish this. Power running, control the clock.
Mason, the lone running back, and they'll take a knee. Lawbaugh will take the knee with under a minute remaining. Williamsport still with that 1 timeout remaining. They're not going to call it. They may take it back to Williamsport with them. It's winding down. 40 seconds to go.
Berwick has to run a play in 19 seconds. They'll probably take the timeout after that if it doesn't run out during the play.
Lawbaugh under center. Second down call coming. Takes the knee. See if Williamsport, they will not use that timeout. And that will be the end of this one. Hard-fought game between two teams that started the season 2-0. Bulldogs emerge and go to 3-0 the season. The final, Berwick 17, Williamsport 10. Stay tuned. We'll have the scoring, stats, Scores of other games. In our post game, you're listening to Berwick Football and Sports Radio, HLM.
Are you looking to meet an elder care need? Do you or a loved one need assistance with any of the instrumental or basic activities of daily living? Brookdale Senior Living has a solution. Brookdale Bloomsburg, located at 420 Schaefer Road, is a premium personal care home offering a family atmosphere along with round-the-clock nursing care. Call 570-387-6868 to learn more. Better yet, we invite you to drop in and meet the Brookdale family and learn how we can offer an optimum aging experience for you or a loved one.
Welsh's Towing and Repair proudly supports the Berwick Bulldogs and wishes them a successful year. Welsh's Towing and Repair has a long tradition of helping. You can call Welsh's 24/7 at 759-9737 if you are in need of a tow, jump start, tire change, are locked out, or to request them on scene if you're in an accident. Welsh's accepts all major insurance and motor clubs, and they offer all types of preventive maintenance and state inspections for cars, trucks, and motorcycles. Welsh's Towing and Repair, South Mercer Street in Berwick, and at their South Center Storage Facility, Columbia Boulevard in Berwick.
Berwick Bulldog Football, HLM.
See the winning lineup of Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Also, quality pre-owned vehicles at Bear Chrysler in Berwick. Celebrating their 30th year, Bear Chrysler has a body shop and a full-service center servicing all makes and models. They've earned the highest possible rating from Chrysler and the prestigious J.D. Power Award for Excellence. Need a truck? Bear has a vast inventory, including the 2019 Ram Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Or choose one of 50 new Jeeps in stock, including Renegade, Cherokee, and Grand Cherokee. Bear Chrysler, 1127 Pine Street, Berwick.
Ask Ameriprise financial advisor Jeffrey McKinnon about the exclusive Confident Retirement approach. It's a personalized, flexible, step-by-step approach toward financial balance. Call Jeff today at 570-520-4137. Offices are located at 22 South Prospect Street in Nanticoke, PA, and 118 East 3rd Street in Berwick, PA. The Confident Retirement approach is not a guarantee of future financial results. Investment advisory products and services are made available through Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, a registered investment advisor.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog Football,
WHLM Williamsport, WBWX Berwick,
HLM.
Later on in the post game, when we go to Andy Lichty for the stats, it will sound like a rout. Berwick will dominate the stats. They don't dominate the scoreboard. Williamsport putting up a good fight here, and the Bulldogs emerging, though, with a win by a score of 17-10. First score of this game came late in the first quarter. Beautiful play from the Berwick 35-yard line. Quarterback Ryan Lawbaugh handed the ball to Anthony Barata. He, in turn, handed it off to Tegan Wilk, who raced 65 yards down this near sideline for the score. Brendan Hinkle with the extra point. 7-0 Berwick after one quarter of play. Williamsport countered with a drive of their own after a 51-yard kick return by Keith Freeman. A 9-play drive capped on a 32-yard field goal by Jonathan Kramer. 8:51 to go in the half. Berwick led by a score of 7-3. Bulldogs added to that lead after a short punt put them at the Williamsport 34-yard line. 6-play drive. Alejandro Lopez. Beautiful run from 13 yards out to add to the Berwick lead. Hinkle with the extra point. 14-3 Bulldogs, and that's how it ended at the half. Just 8 net yards in that first half for Williamsport. Berwick dominating the half, but the lead was just 14-3. Bulldogs had some great opportunities in the second half to add to that lead. For instance, their first possession, they drove to a first and goal at the Williamsport 10. Ended up giving the ball up back at the 20-yard line after a penalty drove them back. Later, they took over at midfield, drove to the Williamsport 46-yard line, but a 4th and 8 pass completion came up well short of the first down. So after 3 quarters, it was still just 14-3 Berwick. And then the Bulldogs added to that lead with 7:15 remaining in the game. A 15-play drive from the 24 to the 6-yard line. A 25-yard run by Aiden Mason, the biggest play. Brendan Hinkle, the sophomore, with the first field goal of his career from 24 yards away. And the Bulldogs extend that lead to 17-3. Williamsport had to score to stay in it. They did. They completed a 65-yard drive with a 21-yard pass completion from Dallas Grease to Braden Mazzanti. The extra point by Kramer was good. Berwick's lead was cut to 17-10 with 5:29 to go. Berwick needed a big drive to put this one away. They got it. 9 plays altogether. Some big third down conversions, and the Bulldogs put it away and go to 3-0. The final score, Berwick 17 and Williamsport 10. Scores of other games, stats from this game coming up. Stay tuned. You're listening to Berwick Football on Sports Radio HLM.
Mason's Monogrammic Service has the biggest selection of Bulldog football items in Berwick. Mason's is family-owned and is celebrating more than 30 years in business. Get all new Bulldog wear for 2019, like tees, tanks, and polos, hoodies, sweatshirts, jackets, and caps. Even onesies and toddler tees and lots more for any Bulldog fan. Mason's also has screen printing for businesses, teams, and organizations. Mason's Monogrammic Service, 225 West Front Street, Berwick, or at masonsmonogramming.com.
The Mayo Funeral Homes, located at 110 Chestnut Street in Berwick and 77 Main Street in Chickashinny, are proud sponsors of Berwick Bulldog football. The Mayo Funeral Homes, serving all faiths, makes it easier for those you love with pre-arranged funeral counseling, insurance, and pre-financed funerals. Mayo Funeral Homes also offers expert guidance in both traditional and cremation services. Mayo Funeral Homes, perfection in every detail.
Berwick Bulldog Football, HLM.
If you haven't been to Name Brand Liquidations in the Berwick Plaza Shopping Center, you're missing out on great values. At Name Brand Liquidators, you'll save money from 50 to 90% on everything imaginable, from bathroom vanities to bar stools to carpeting. You name it. Name Brand Liquidations not only sells a huge variety of merchandise, they feature name brands just like their name says, at low prices. When you're in the market for anything, shop at the store that has everything. Name Brand Liquidations. Wishing the Berwick Bulldogs a great season.
You haven't had the best till you've been to Romeo's Italian Submarines. Romeo's Italian Submarines, you've got to try them. Romeo's Submarines menu includes wings, wraps, and so much more. Romeo's is also home to Sasser Sweet Stop, where you can get your ice cream on. Romeo's Italian Submarines and Sasser Sweet Stop. Open till 9 Sunday through Thursday until 10 Friday and Saturday. 1306 Orange Street, Berwick. 570-752-8788.
This is Berwick football coach Carm DiFrancesco. You are listening to Bulldogs football on Sports Radio HLM.
Berwick Bulldog Football,
WHLM Williamsport, WBWX Berwick,
HLM.
3-0 start for the Bulldogs as they beat Williamsport here in the home opener at Crispin Field. 17-10 the final. For an update on other scores, let's go to the studios of WHLM and Ben Willis.
Thank you very much, Jim. Like this game, the HLM Sports Radio Game of the Week was a fast one. Is already gone final. Southern Columbia over Selinsgrove tonight, 76-0. That is that game, of course, which ties the state record for, I think it was regular season, their streak, which continues along with Southern Columbia's win tonight over Selinsgrove, 76-0. Other games going on. Third quarter, Danville leads Warrior Run 28-20. Fourth quarter, Bloomsburg leads North Penn Mansfield 35-12. Fourth quarter, Central Columbia leads Lehighton 26-0. Nativity leads Columbia Montour Votech in the third, 36-6. Dallas leads Hazleton 34-7 in the third. Pittston leads Tunkhannock 26-7 in the third. Also in the third, Wilkes-Barre area leads Nanticoke 35-0. Mount Carmel leads Lewisburg 36-3 in the third. And all in the fourth, Shamokin leads Central Mountain 12-7. Montoursville leads Jersey Shore 42-12. Crestwood leads Wyoming Valley West 35-8. And Valley View leads West Scranton 37-0. By the way, the WHLM High School football scoreboard is a service of Zimmer Insurance in Bloomsburg. Qualified answers from local people. I'm Ben Willis. Back to you, Jim.
Okay, thank you very much, Ben. Here at Crispin Field, 17-10 the final. Berwick wins it over Williamsport. Stats in tonight's game, Andy Ligney.
Stats are dominated by Berwick, as we knew, Jim. As you mentioned, a much closer game on the scoreboard. Berwick amassed 433 total yards, held Williamsport to 81. Looking at Williamsport's totals, the running game, just 19 yards. A team that was putting up 247 yards a game, Berwick pretty much shut them down. Keith Freeman, the main running back, he was getting 148 yards a game. Berwick held him to a total of 1. 10 carries, just 1 yard. Drake Mankey, 3 carries for 14 in the first half. Edward Jefferson, a first half carry, no yards on that. Cameron Sims, a 7-yard play, and then going down to Ian Welshaw, normally plays defensive tackle. They gave him a 4th down carry. He got 4 yards on that. And quarterback Dallas Grease, sacked on a number of occasions, finishes with 6 carries in all for -7 yards, as he does turn things around a little bit on his ledger with some positive runs in the second half of the game. But in the running game, 22 carries in all, just 19 yards for a team that was putting up 247 a game. Passing, they were 6 of 14, no interceptions, 62 yards. On the receiving end of Dallas Grease's passes, Brock Moyer was the leading receiver. 3 catches for, not Brock Moyer, but Braden Mazzanti. 3 catches for 43, including a 21-yard touchdown. Ed Jefferson caught one, but was tackled for a 3-yard loss. Nasir Jones, a very impressive defensive player, good at tight end as well. 3 catches, 22 yards for him. Add up the 6 catches, they make 62 yards in the air, add 19 in the ground. A total of 36 plays for 81 yards for Williamsport here in this game. Nowhere near Berwick's 433, but they still managed to keep it close on the scoreboard. Berwick had a lot of heroes in this one. One was Aiden Mason. He 15 carries, 116 yards, looked strong, especially in the second half, exploding into the hole, running through people, making people miss. Strong game for sophomore Aiden Mason, who gets his 100-yard game with 116. Blake Meyer only had 2 carries, lost a yard total. Tegan Wilk had 2 carries for 67. The one was a beautiful reverse where he goes big yardage, over 60 for the touchdown. Eric Montez, they let him carry once. He got a yard on that. Alejandro Lopez came in the second quarter, had 4 nice carries for 25, and they stayed with him for a nice long time. Finishes with 13 carries for 69 yards. An impressive outing for Alejandro Lopez. Antonio Barada tried a reverse but couldn't make the handoff, and instead of trying to force it, took a 7-yard loss on that. A smart play. Blaine Cleaver at quarterback, 5 yards on 1 run. And then Ryan Lawbaugh, who did most of the quarterbacking, 14 carries, 89 yards. He really was a difference maker with the counters off of the running backs. Came back after getting shook up early in the game in the second quarter. Finished strong for his team. Passing, Berwick combined for 9 completes in 15 attempts. Blaine Cleaver was 2 of 4 in his actions. The rest do go to Ryan Lawbaugh. The team ends up with 94 yards passing. Tegan Wilk caught 2 of the passes for 9 yards. Blake Maurer took a beautiful screen, caught it and ran for 35 yards. Eric Montez targeted twice from his fullback position on big plays. Catches of 11 and 17, a total of 28 yards on his 2 catches. Blaine Cleaver caught 2, a total of 5 yards in all. 1 lost 5, 1 gained 10. Alejandro Lopez caught 1 for 4 yards, and Antonio Barada caught 2 for a total of 13. 6 different receivers. Must have my numbers off. Let me get that straight. Yeah, I'll check it out. In any case, 62 yards in the air. That's why I'm getting it wrong. I'm looking at the wrong sheet. 9 catches for 15 yards, no interceptions. I'm still wrong. 9 catches, 15 attempts, no interceptions, 94 yards in the air for Berwick. 94 plus their 399 rushing. They end up with 433. So dominating on the score sheet, Jim, in a lot of factors. Somehow you'd like to translate that into points and make for a bigger win, but a win is a win.
It is indeed. As Williamsport falls to 2-1 on the season with their first loss, they'll be home against Hazleton area next Friday night. The Bulldogs will be right here at Crispin Field to take on our rival Wyoming Valley West. We hope you'll join us for the broadcast. It starts, as usual, at 6 with the Lenahan and Dempsey Coach DeFrancesco show. The final again, Berwick 17 and Williamsport 10. For Andy Ulickney and our producer, Ben Willis, this is Jim Doyle reminding you heard it live on Sports Radio HLM.